He's having some issues logging on, but we're about to go live and vamp until he gets on here.
I am on time.
So we're gonna vamp until he gets on here. So
Okay,
Kenzo, I hope you're ready to vamp.
Okay. wait, what? No, I'm good. Yeah, let's do it.
Exactly. We're just gonna vamp on here.
On time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Scripts Gone Wild. Apologies for the late start. We are still missing, technically, our headliner for the night, who is having some issues with his microphone, and so hopefully he'll be joining us in a second. But welcome. It's Sunday night, which is an unusual night for us to be doing Scripts Gone Wild, but we're doing it for a very special reason because we're reading Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
And our headliner is Mr. Joey Cramer, the star from that film, who you currently don't see on the screen because he's working out his tech issues, and it's his birthday, which is also really cool. That's right. It's the first time I think we've ever done a read on someone's birthday.
Wow.
And hopefully he's going to join us for this read. But welcome. For those of you who don't know, Scripts Gone Wild is normally on Wednesday nights. We are a drinking game. And let me introduce my co-host for the evening, who also just joined us at the last minute, Mr. Clay Keller.
And I'm just frantically writing down the 19 characters that I'm playing.
Yeah, this script has like 180 characters. It's really thick with characters, really thick.
You love a script that's thick with characters.
Clay, have you seen Flight of the Navigator?
I will have after tonight.
Oh, so that's a no. So a show of hands, who's all seen Flight of the Navigator?
I mean, like 10 years ago.
Like 15 years ago.
I watched
it Disney
30
Plus,
years
guys.
ago.
It's on
Wow.
Disney Plus.
I've seen it. I saw it when I was little, but I rewatched it because my boyfriend had never seen it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Well,
he's never seen this movie.
Well, this was a read that we were originally going to do in June, but we had some stuff come up at the last minute, had to cancel that read. So we rescheduled it. We're doing it now, but we still don't have Joey. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? Right now, it's anybody's guess.
It's a drinking game. Let's find out what happens to Joey.
Yeah, so let's find out.
Just everyone take a drink.
Maybe we should start
Drink
drinking
for Joey. Here we go.
every 30 seconds that Joey isn't here, we take a drink.
Oh,
no,
God.
This would then
That might be bad.
This will then officially surpass the time for the longest and most convoluted read we've ever had.
Exactly. But let me talk a minute about our charity. Our charity for tonight is a little different. Lately, we've been making donations pretty much particularly for Black Lives Matter, and that's still our primary charity right now. But for this read, we're raising money for a charity that we've never raised money for before, and it's called Special Spaces. And Special Spaces is a really awesome nonprofit which creates sort of fantasy bedrooms for kids with cancer. So if you're a kid and you have cancer, or you're a parent and your child has cancer, they will come in and they will turn your child's bedroom into basically whatever they want it to be. And it's a pretty awesome organization, and you can make a donation now, during, after the read. If you catch it in a week, you can go on and make a donation, and you can do that by going to scriptsgonewild.com, and you can click on the donation tab, and that will take you directly to the donation portal for Special Spaces. And we really encourage you to do that because they're doing amazing work right now, and they just do a really cool thing that we thought we should highlight. And we thought Flight of the Navigator, it's a movie about a kid kind of getting to do a fantastical thing. So it just felt like a really good charity for this read. So once again, go to scriptsgonewild.com, click on the donate button, and that should take you there and get you to where you need to go to donate $1,000. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity.
That works about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
more or less.
And I'm still pretty much vamping right now. So in the vamping tradition, I'm going to introduce our cast. Sans Joey. So we've got Mr. Kenzo Lee.
Hey guys. How you doing?
Hey. We've got
Glad to be
Natisha
here.
Anderson.
Yay, that's me.
We've got Ava. I don't want to massacre her name again. Tell me what it is again.
Say ha. It's like a joke. Like
Ceja. Ceja.
Say ha 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 ha.
Ava Ceja. Leilani Barrett.
Back again.
Anthony Perez. Aaron LaPlante. Kylie Sparks.
That's me.
Sasha Kerbel.
And that's me.
DeVaughn Taylor,
Hello, hello.
Frank Dietz,
Hello.
and reading and also our co-host for the evening, Mr. Clay Keller.
Yay.
So for those of you who don't know what the rules are of Scripts Gone Wild, Scripts Gone Wild is a drinking game. If any of our readers flubs a line, misses their cue, does anything that we can construe as a mistake, they have to take a drink. We also choose a couple of what we call social words. And anytime these words are spoken aloud in the script by our readers, everybody takes a drink.
Oh, boy.
And those words tonight are Navigator.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Seriously?
Oh, really? You thought that was bad? And David.
Oh, no.
dude.
Come on.
You guys are gonna be so drunk.
Navigator, and David. Those are the social
geez.
words.
Oh, no.
And you were trying to get us to drink to wait for Joey, too, on top
Yes.
of this. Great.
We
I'm gonna
also
have to go
have-
get more White Claw, I guess.
It's been a few weeks since my last one.
just
And there's
got
a
the
reason
six
why
pack
my
with
liver
you.
has to recover every time.
We also have a what we call a finish your drink line. So when this line is read aloud in the script, everybody finishes whatever drink is in their hand, whether it's a fresh pour or just a couple of sips. And the line for tonight is, I do not leak, you leak, remember?
Oh, no.
Oh,
I remember that
no.
line.
That is the
no.
line that you will finish your drink on. Are there any questions about the rules of the game?
Who's funding my liver transplant when this is done?
Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Joey is now messaging again for the Zoom link.
Can we give
Close.
Joey a special drinking rule for this? I mean, because of shenanigans.
And
Just
Clay,
shenanigans.
Clay,
Yeah.
I totally respect that you were late because you were killing younglings before
Yeah.
this. I respect
Yeah, I
that.
had some business to take care of.
You know, we
Yeah.
are still vamping here. Since Joey is still not here and he is technically
Skywalker. Is it okay to come out now?
Sorry, that won't be the David voice for this.
there we
That might be a
go.
little
That's a
rough.
good point. Billy Ray, when is the Attack of the Clones reading?
That's a good idea. You know, that brings up a good point, Clay. That was a nonsense question, but I'm going to vamp off of it. We usually do our coming up next after the read, but since we're vamping, we might as well just talk about it now, since Joey now has the link. And so, okay, here we go. Okay, he said the link isn't working. This is okay, glorious. This is wonderful. Okay, he needs the meeting ID. Guys, this is what we call live tech shenanigans.
Yep.
This is the live theater of 2020, y'all.
Frank, why don't you tell us about the read that we're doing on Wednesday?
Good
Yes.
idea.
Wednesday night, we are doing the wonderful, one of my favorite horror movies of all time from 1985. It is Fright Night, which was written and directed by a dear friend of mine, Tom Holland. And in the original movie, it was Chris Sarandon playing the coolest freaking vampire of all time, and Roddy McDowell as the vampire killer. And we've got some really cool people performing in it that night, including Mr. Keller here, who is our Charlie Brewster. And Jonah Ray is going to be joining us. Beau Foxworth, also an awesome actor. Who else we got? Alex.
Marshall Brown.
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
Oh, I
Davey.
love Alex.
She's great.
Yeah, no, it's a terrific cast. So Liesl Hansen, who was one of the stars of Reanimator the musical when they were doing that a few years ago. She's our evil Ed, so I'm really excited about that. But I think it's going to be a real lot of fun. Like I said, I just finished adapting the script about 2 hours ago, and I'm exhausted from it. But it's a great cast, so we're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope that everybody tunes in for that.
Yeah, that should be a great one. And then after that, we're taking a week off because we need a break. And then on September 9th, we're doing The Burbs, which should be a lot of fun if you've ever seen The Burbs. And then on September 16th, we're doing The Shining. And we've got a really cool cast for that. And we're also doing a reading of The Princess Bride on September 10th for Skyline Indie Film Festival.
Nice.
We like to work with film festivals every now and again.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable is right. Man, I'm running out of things to vamp about. Somebody help me, guys. Help me.
Oh, really? I wore my Hawaiian shirt because it's set in Florida.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a very good reason to wear your Hawaiian shirt.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Okay.
Billy, what do you think about my shirt?
I'm just gonna start judging everyone's shirts. Let's start up here. Yeah, the Watch TV shirt, Leilani's Watch TV shirt is pretty rad. In a second, guys, we're just going to dive into this, and hopefully Joey's going to join us. We've never started a read without our headliner before, so this is going to be an interesting.
Isn't it weird that he played David and he disappeared in the movie, and now he's disappeared in this?
Oh wait!
Wait for it.
Wait.
Yeah.
There he He made it!
We did it!
Oh my God!
And it was all because of us. We did it all together. And you were there, and you were there.
It was the friends we made along the way.
What a journey.
A wild miracle.
All right, good night, everybody. We're done. See ya.
Joey, what year it is now? What year is it now?
It's 2028.
Who's the president?
Welcome, Joey.
The president is still Trump.
Oh. Okay, go back quickly.
Go back in time.
We need Max.
Joey, I went ahead and did all of the introduction stuff since you weren't here. So I just went ahead and got through all that. But I'll give you a quick rundown, too, since you've never done this before.
I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. So if anybody flubs a line or misses a cue, they have to take a drink.
All right.
We choose 2 social words from the script, and anytime those words are spoken aloud by you guys, not me, then everybody drinks. And those words are, I'm very sorry in advance, Navigator and David.
Okay.
And then the line, we have a finish your drink line. Whenever we get to that line, everybody finishes whatever drink is in their hand. And that line is, I do not leak, you leak, remember?
Right.
That's the general rules. Welcome. We're so glad you made it.
Bravo. I made it. I even brought my buddy along.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Because we're going to just dive into it if no one has any questions.
Who's my proxy?
Who's your proxy? The gentleman. Wave, Kenzo.
Hey, Kenzo.
Yeah, this is the inception of David's right here. It's going to be David talking to David. Playing someone else. What?
Right.
It's 2 layers deep of David's.
It's very meta right now. It's very meta. Well, you know what? Let's just dive into it. And if we decide we want to stop and vamp along the way, God knows it wouldn't be the first time.
All right.
Essentially, there are no rules here. So I'm going to start Flight of the Navigator by Michael Burton and Douglas Day Stewart with Joey Cramer, who was in the goddamn movie. Exterior, a baseball field, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the fanciest city in the world. A shiny, saucer-shaped object sails in slow motion towards the camera. It's a bright, sunny day, puffy white clouds, everything normal, except for this eerie chrome saucer that floats slowly through the air, silently filling the screen. Then we are startled to see the head of a dog leap up into frame in slow motion and grab the plastic, chrome-painted frisbee in its jaws. Titles and credits play. Close on a puppy. This clumsy, floppy-footed puppy trying so humorously to learn to catch a frisbee thrown by its master. A handsome, I don't like saying it, calling a 12-year-old handsome. A handsome 12-year-old named David Freeman.
Jump, Bruiser.
The puppy trips over his own feet and does a 3-point landing on the left field grass. With enormous eyes, it looks up sheepishly at David.
Good try, boy.
He picks up the frisbee and the title's end. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, July 4th, 1978. David's family are watching the frisbee contest. Bob Freeman, 38, wears a t-shirt with the words Bob's Bikes printed on the front and holds David's brother Jeff, 8, on his shoulders. Helen Freeman, 35, an attractive, athletic woman, stands beside him. One of the dogs does a virtuoso
drink.
Does a virtuoso, god damn,
drink again.
Does a virtuoso double somersault through the hind legs catch that blows everyone away. The Freemans join the loud applause and cheering for the new champion, and they both react to the loud cheering.
You hear that, Bruiser? That's the sound of greatness and glory that you will one day know. Come on.
Helen, Bob, and Jeff approach from the crowd.
That dumb dog will never learn to catch a frisbee.
Yes, he will, and don't you call him dumb.
How about, I'm sorry, retarded?
This was the 1980s, everyone. Forgive them.
Yeah.
David would love nothing more than planting his fist in his little brother's face, but his parents are too nearby to risk it. Suddenly, a large oval shadow falls on the ball field, moving slowly after the Freemans. The Freemans stop as they see the shadow and look up, and even little Bruiser is craning his neck to see the object in the sky. Other families and pets stop and stare at the hovering orb. The object in the sky turns out to be the Goodyear blimp. The Freeman station wagon. David, Bruiser, and Jeff ride in the back, and Bob is behind the wheel, and Helen rides beside him.
Oh, guess what? David's got the hots for Jennifer Bradley. He writes her name all over his summer school homework.
Shut up.
He grabs Jeff in a headlock and starts knuckling him on the top of his head hard. Jeff screams.
Dad, he's knuckling me.
David, I want you to stop provoking your little brother.
David.
But Dad.
Oh shit!
And
yeah,
that's
great.
the last I want to hear from you two. Okay.
Ugh, I can't believe this.
The station wagon moves into a residential neighborhood surrounded by a thick wooded area. A group of kids are out lighting those black firework snakes in the street.
Dad, can I play at Billy's?
Bob pulls the car to the side of the road. Just a reminder, I'm going to skip those little one-liners probably.
Okay. Be back before dark and be careful with those fireworks.
Jeff gets out of the car.
Good riddance.
Dork.
Weasel.
Jeff slams the door in David's face and the car pulls away.
You'll never see your 9th birthday, I promise.
David, don't talk like that.
He's a brat.
Oh, David, sorry.
That was a drink.
It's only a phase. He'll grow out of it.
If he lives that long.
Just try and remember you're the oldest, all right?
All right, all right.
The Freeman home. The station wagon emerges from the wooded area and pulls into the driveway of a 2-story shingle roof home. 5 kids David's age are playing on skateboards in front of the house. One of them is Jennifer Bradley. She immediately smiles at David as he gets out of the car.
Hi, David.
Drink.
Hi, Jennifer.
Oh.
Yep, that was right. David glances nervously at the girl. He is actually kind of shy. Bob and Helen watch as David quickly moves inside the house. David's room, late afternoon. David briefly glances at a geography book full of color maps of various parts of the world. He pushes aside the book and lifts a large box of fireworks onto the desk, and he pulls one of the bigger cones out of the box and examines it closely.
David, I hope you're studying for that geography quiz.
I am.
David stares at the geography book for a moment and then moves up to a telescope that faces out the second-story window. He sees Jennifer playing on the street below.
David?
He jumps away from the fireplace. His father stands in the doorway.
Dad, I was just studying.
Really?
Bob takes a quick glance through the telescope and Jennifer is staring directly at him.
So, you have a crush on Jennifer Bradley?
No, not really. I barely even know her.
Oh, well, have you tried talking to her?
How are you supposed to talk to girls anyways? It's impossible.
Well, you just have to try and strike up a conversation. If you want to learn to swim, you got to jump in the water.
I know, but it just seems like every time I try to say something, I end up sounding like an idiot.
Well, give it another try. It gets easier with practice.
I guess.
David, can you go get Jeff?
Drink.
All right. Drinking.
Freeman house. David and his mother move towards the back door.
The Johnson said he left about 5 minutes ago. I don't like him going through the woods at night alone.
He's 8 years old, Mom. I think he can make it a half mile on his own.
Moving through the kitchen.
Oh, okay. And hurry back. We're going to go get a burger, and then we'll set off those fireworks of yours.
Okay.
David moves out the back door, and his mother stops at the porch and watches as he moves through the back gate into a large, foreboding forest on the edge of the property. Bruiser charges out of the house and follows David in there.
Come on, Bruiser.
The forest. The wind picks up as David moves through the forest. The puppy stops and looks skyward and starts barking.
What is it, Macho Man? You're not afraid of little wind, are you?
That was a Macho Man Randy Savage reference, by the way.
Yeah, brother.
A tall power antenna that crosses through the forest is sparking against the dark and stormy night sky. David reacts to the antenna, then through the woods.
Come on, boy.
The puppy glances up at the antenna and quickly follows because it's a dumb puppy. David and his dog move through
Drink.
David and his dog move toward us through ominous shadows. The wind rustles through the massive trees.
See, Bruiser, what you got to do is be a take charge guy. That's what girls like.
Bruiser whimpers, spooked by the wind and the darkness, and David moves on, trying to hide his growing fear.
You want to know my real problem? I don't know what I want out of life anymore. As a young dog, you might find that it's hard to understand, but...
Suddenly, there is the sound of someone approaching. David stops. The sound grows closer. David swings his flashlight through the large trees that surround him, and he can't see anything.
Jeff?
He turns. Nothing. Turns again. The sounds get closer.
Get back, Jack! I got a gun!
But the noise doesn't stop. It's almost on him. David turns and yanks a large branch off a nearby tree and holds his ground. The camera pushes in on David as he raises the stick, and now we're ready for the confrontation. When? Yeah!
Oh, that's me. That's me. Yeah.
It was you. You got me.
A figure drops from a tree directly onto David's back. David and the figure roll to the ground, and the figure jumps up. It's Jeff.
I gotcha.
I'm gonna kill you!
David starts to chase Jeff, but Bruiser off screen, growling and barking, stops him.
Bruiser?
He's about 40 feet away, standing at the edge of a railroad trestle, barking and growling in a very unusual way. There's the sound of a distant train whistle that goes a little bit something like... There it is. Nerd by the strange sounds coming out of his pet, he starts towards the trestle.
What is it, Bruiser?
The closer he gets to the edge of the trestle, the louder the wind screams through the trees. Bruiser barks and whines, transfixed by the sight below. David stops near the drop-off and shines his flashlight down into the dark abyss, but sees nothing.
Come on, boy. We better get home.
The ground starts to give way.
Hey!
He starts to fall and slide down a rocky slope.
Help!
He falls out of the frame and we stay on Bruiser. He whines and cries and then runs off, his tail between his legs. Dumb dog. David slides and tumbles, frantically claws at roots and branches to no avail, hits the bottom violently, and his head strikes the rock on the log-strewn ground, knocking him unconscious. An electronic hum is heard, distant but growing louder. On the ravine floor, David groans and struggles as his sitting position, holding his head in pain. In the Freeman house, David angrily runs to the front door, grabs the doorknob, and crashes against the door with a grunt. The door has been locked from the inside. David pounds on it.
Let me in, you little punk. You hear me? I said...
The door swings open. A strange woman stands at the door.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm David. I live here.
Oh, David.
I think you have the wrong house, dear.
David stares at her. Then he runs towards the sidewalk and looks back at the house to reassure himself that he has the right place. He hurries back towards the mystified Mrs. Howard.
Where's my mom?
I have no idea. Are you lost?
Mom? Dad?
He pushes his way into the house.
Larry?
David races down the hall into the living room and freezes in shock. The furniture, paint, decor are all different. A strange man rises from the couch, a pipe and newspaper in his hand.
I was son.
That's what's in the script. David stands in confusion at the people and the strange surroundings and then bolts up the stairway and throws open the door that leads to his room.
Mom! Dad!
His room is now a study. David races down the hall, throwing door over door open, in terror mounting. Mr. and Mrs. Howard hurry down the hall and come up behind him.
Now, just calm down, son. Nobody's going to hurt you. What's your name and where do you live?
David retreats until his back is against the wall. He tries to fight off the tears but can't.
Please, where's my mom and dad?
Janet, call the police.
Police station. David sits on a large, worn vinyl couch. Beside him is an uneaten ham sandwich from a vending machine and a Coke. A plainclothes police detective named Philip Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Philip Banks.
Okay.
Walks up to him. And there's a director's note. Seemed to be shot from David's point of view.
Now I'm someone else.
Yes.
Not hungry, huh?
Is my dad coming yet?
A uniformed lady officer arrives.
Bill.
She leads Banks out of the office and shows him a computer printout. David strains to hear the conversation.
We ran his name and the computers came up with this.
Missing persons report. David Scott Freeman. Brown hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing blue and white striped t-shirt, jeans, red windbreaker.
Banks looks back at David, puzzled by the fact that these are the same clothes he is wearing.
Have we located the parents?
Yep, but Phil, look at the date.
What about it?
He glances at the printout.
Has to be a typo.
I ran it through the computer 3 times. There's no mistake. He was declared legally dead last year.
Wait, who's dead?
No one's dead, David. Come on, we're gonna start putting this puzzle together.
Street. Yep, David, that's it. Street. Night. The police car drives through a darkened suburban neighborhood. Banks and the woman officer are in the front seat of the car. David is in the back seat. I wish they could have given her a name. Woman officer seems very just 1980s shitty.
Welcome to the 80s, yeah.
David is in the back seat staring out the window at the strange scenery.
David, let's drink.
Yeah,
sure.
And also,
Way
just
ahead
a
of
few
you.
more questions for your paperwork. For our paperwork. Oh, I'm drinking. I'm already drunk. How old are you?
I already told you, 12.
And what is the date today, as best as you can remember?
I remember it perfectly. It's July 4th, 1978.
David, who's the president of the United States?
You want to know that for your paperwork?
Well,
it's Jimmy Carter.
The officers share a look as the car pulls up outside of a darkened suburban home.
Where are we stopping?
You'll see.
Banks moves towards the house, leaving David and the woman officer in the car.
Who lives here?
The doorbell rings and a dog barks inside.
Quiet, boy.
It opens.
Mr. Robert Freeman.
Yes?
What is it, Bob?
I'm sorry to disturb you folks, but are you the same Robert Freeman who reported missing a son, David Scott Freeman, on July 4, 1978?
Yes, we are. Why?
David realizes it's his parents.
Mom, Dad.
He jumps out of the car and heads for the porch.
Oh, wait a second, David.
I'm Detective Banks, Juvenile Division. Seems...
David leaps onto the porch suddenly. David stops dead in his tracks and his face twists with confusion and shock. In the doorway stands his father, looking in his late 40s, noticeably older, heavier, and with grayer hair. Behind him, wearing a robe, is his mother, also older, with dyed and restyled hair.
Oh, my God.
David?
Visibly shaken.
Mom, Dad, what's going on?
Drink on, David. It is a frozen tableau for a moment. Then from behind the door, there is a loud bark as Bruiser jumps through the doorway. He is now a full-grown dog. Bruiser immediately recognizes David and jumps forward, licking him on the face. This is way too much for him to handle. His eyes roll back in his head, his knees buckle, and he faints. A half-dozen doctors are crowded around him now on a gurney as it moves down the hallway. Several nurses pull an IV up to David. The babble of indistinct voices, distorted and far away, add to the horror of this waking moment.
What are you doing?
Dr. Sanford Carr, 45, a real son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
No, leads
Son of a
towards
bitch.
David.
Rest, David.
Drink. I don't want to rest and I don't want to drink. Where's my mom and dad? What's going on, Mom? I'm scared.
Don't be scared, sweetheart. We're here and we won't let anyone hurt you.
The doctors move the gurney out of the hallway and into a room, and David's parents follow.
What happened to you, Mom? And you too, Dad. Why are those people in our house? Why?
David, we don't know the answers to all this yet, but the main thing is you're alive. Where were you all this time?
All this time? All this time? I just went to get Jeff at the Johnsons a few hours ago. Get Jeff. He'll tell you.
David?
Everyone turns. There in the doorway of the waiting room stands Jeff, only now he is a tall, gangly 16-year-old boy.
Dad.
That's your brother, Jeffrey.
What? What?
Oh, drink. Mr. and Mrs. Freeman, if I could talk with you for a minute outside.
We'll be right back.
They exit.
You look just like I remember you, David. Where have you been?
Drink.
You're not my brother. My brother doesn't wear glasses.
He does now.
Bitch.
Hey, listen, I'm really sorry I scared you like that. Jumping out of that tree, I felt horrible about it.
Anyone could have known about that, son of a bitch. How do I know you're my brother?
I'm not really sure why I kept this. I guess I always hoped that I might be able to use it. Kind of save the day.
Jeff pulls a carefully folded piece of paper from the wallet. He unfolds the paper and hands it to David. It is an old weather-beaten missing child handbill with David's face printed on it. David Scott Freeman, missing July 4th, 1978. Please call 790-5723.
Mom and Dad went wild when we couldn't find you. I think it was the hardest on Mom. You should have seen her. She kept all the stuff in your room. She just refused to believe that you were dead.
I don't know what to believe.
Jeff reaches out and softly knuckles the top of his brother's head the same way David did it to him earlier.
It's 1986, man. It's 8 years since that night. You should be 20 years old.
Jeff, I'm scared.
Jeff puts his hands on David's shoulder, but David instinctively pulls away from this stranger. Their parents walk in.
Dad, I want to go home.
Doctors want you to stay here a few days. David.
No, Dad, please. Please don't make me stay.
They want to run a few tests and try to find out where you've been to help you remember. Please feel we feel that it's important, Davey.
Not David.
Davey
Not that.
Okay, doesn't count. So he said okay.
Mom, please don't say David.
Sweetheart. One of us will be with you around the clock. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. I promise. You two get some sleep. I'll look after our guy tonight.
She sits down by his bed and holds David's hand, and Jeff and Bob start for the door.
We'll see you in a few hours.
Hey, be cool, dude.
David looks at his mom with sleepy eyes.
Mom, have I really been gone 8 years?
I can't tell you what it was like for me, losing you. How I almost went under myself. Strong old mom. You should have seen her those first few years.
It's like a bad dream. But thank you for not saying my name. I appreciate that.
A farm in Florida.
Nice.
It's a farm, everybody. It's a farm. We finally reached the crest of the hill of the farm. 6 white cars with large NASA logos in a circle around a shiny object that appears to be suspended off the ground, but the glare off its surface is so bright we can't quite make it out. The Land Rover speeds towards camera and screeches to a stop. The doors swing open as Louis Faraday, chief life scientist, 49, steps into a large close-up. He shields his bright, intelligent eyes from the glare. A sense of incredible awe covers his face as several aides step up to him wearing dark aviator glasses.
He's beautiful. Signs of life? Are there any signs of life?
None outside, but we haven't been able to determine what's inside.
Oh, something had to be flying it. I mean, this could be our first contact. Hey, he's the one who found it.
Faraday gestures towards Brayton, an excitable-looking farmer armed with an archaic rifle. He stands with his hound dog, Rufus, staring up at the object with wonder of a child. An aide leads Faraday to Brayton.
Yes, sir. Ellis Brayton, local farmer. This is his land. He says he hasn't told anyone else except the local sheriff, so we have a contained situation, sir.
Oh, hey. Shit, that is me. I thought you were going to read the line. Sure is a pretty piece of Skylab. Me and Rufus just found her sitting here. Say, I don't suppose you gentlemen could tell me how you keep it floating in the air like that?
Sorry, Mr. Brayton, that's a matter of national security. Any suggestions on how we move her?
You kidding? Watch this.
He puts one finger on the side of the curved surface and gives a little push. The object floats off camera, leaving Faraday and his group watching in wide-eyed amazement. A large lab in the hospital. A garbled metallic voice causes David to bolt awake. He finds himself imprisoned inside a germ-free plastic housing, being poked at by gloved arms and hands belonging to a large medical, and scientific staff and attendants, all wearing high-tech gas masks that make them look like Martians. His family watches them from behind the plastic curtain.
Who's talking to me? Who are you? What's happening?
It's okay, David. We're right here.
Gosh, now you did it, Mom.
Uh-huh.
You were just dreaming.
Not a dream. It's happening now.
Observation area. Bob and Helen anxiously watch the activity as Jeff stands at the glass angry. Oh, Jeff's so angry.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Drink, Jeff!
Make them stop, Dad. Can't they get him out of there?
As soon as they're sure he doesn't have a disease.
Oh, come on. They've run a million tests and he's completely normal.
What about his mind?
Jeff doesn't have an answer because he's 16. Plastic bubble. David is being poked at by every medical prod known to modern science. While a host of interns take in the data, one of the prods pokes under David's armpit.
Stop it. That's ticklish.
One intern gravely turns to another.
He's ticklish.
Mm-hmm. Ticklish.
The camera slowly creeps in on David as the interns continue to probe and monitor his body. Suddenly, David smashes the probe away and leaps off the bed.
That's it. No more.
Several of the technicians try and restrain David by grabbing him through the bubble.
Back off. I mean it.
Dr. Carr steps up to Freeman's and watches as the commotion builds.
What did I tell you? Perfectly normal.
David has picked up two of the prods and is poking away at several of the interns' quickly receding arms.
See? Not so hot, is it?
They've backed away. A highway in Florida. The object found by the farmer has been covered with a tarp, then wrapped in numerous loops of rope so that it looks almost like a huge gift-wrapped package. The object is connected to vehicles ahead, and behind that are transporting it along a deserted highway led by a police convoy, surrounded by a number of military vehicles filled with armed soldiers. As the convoy moves past camera, we suddenly see that the object is totally unsupported. It is literally floating along the highway as it is being towed. NASA Space Center. Two large blast doors on a massive hangar slowly pull open, and the object still being towed is slowly pulled into the hangar. David's hospital room. Jeff watches his brother toss and turn in his bed. There's a sound of a garbled metallic voice, and David Lee suddenly bolts upright.
He's hurt. He's calling me.
Hey, you were having a nightmare.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here. What was it?
It's okay. Forget it.
What?
I keep hearing this voice. It keeps saying the same thing over and over, but I can't understand very much.
Well, what is he saying?
It's saying something like Navigator. Something. You wouldn't believe me.
No, I'm pretty drunk. I believe you.
I'm pretty drunk too, and you don't think I'm losing my mind, do you?
Of course not. You're probably the only sane person in this place. Hey, don't worry about it. It was just a dream.
Thanks.
The brothers look at each other for the first time with a mutual trust and respect. David turns back into his bed and tries to sleep as the camera moves in on Jeff's worried look. Hangar, NASA Space Center. Faraday and a team of technicians and scientists move beside a highly polished, highly reflective surface. We are too close to tell what the shape of the surface actually is.
Have you tried everything?
Everything, sir. Sorry, I lost my place. I'll drink. Everything, sir. It's completely impregnable. Fuck, I'll just chug.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We must get inside. For all we know, there could be something living or maybe even dying in there.
Faraday and the scientists continue to move along the mirrored surface.
That seems seamless. No way in, no way out.
The testing lab at the hospital. It is a large white room with a closed-circuit television camera focused on David, who sits in a chair with several electrodes taped to his skull. A female technician sits in a chair. Could we not give her a name? In a chair opposite David, who has just gone under.
What time did you enter the woods?
About 6:30.
Gina. Her name's Gina.
Gina.
Observation
Okay.
rooms. The room is filled with an incredible array of equipment, all of which is monitoring David's brain waves during each response. Bob, Helen, Jeff, Dr. Carr, and several technicians watch David through the giant glass window as Gina says,
Had you met your brother?
Yes, Gina. The jerk jumped out of a tree and tried to scare me. He is lucky he's still alive.
And then what happened?
Well, Gina, I chased after him for a second, and then I reached this cliff, and...
Suddenly, the test equipment begins to run wildly. Numbers flash. Printers begin to print at an unbelievable speed. Screens are going haywire. Technician number 2 turns and stares at Carr.
Jesus, he's transmitting alpha waves.
What's going on?
I don't know.
The room with David, it is silent. David is totally unaware of the havoc taking place in the observation room.
Then I'm not really sure. I know I fell.
Carr and the technicians are trying to regain control of the equipment.
The alpha waves are coming in at 12.78 cycles per second.
Carr reaches to a test panel and adjusts the panel so that the LED display reaches 12.78.
That was actually my line.
Oh, we swapped. Sorry. You can take number 3.
He's communicating directly with the computer and binary code. How the hell is he doing that?
We have no idea.
But then after you fell, you went somewhere. How did you get there?
Observation room. Suddenly, every screen in the room simultaneously begins to transform into a bright pattern of green lines. The lines twist and turn as they create a 3-dimensional diagram. A large computer printer starts to pound out a print of the same diagram design. God damn it. Bob, Helen, and Jeff are frightened out of their goddamn minds.
Is that coming from David?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, great.
Oh my God.
I believe it is.
The camera slowly pushes in on the bank of screens as they continue to transform. And as we get closer, the transformation is finally complete. Each screen in glowing green displays a detailed schematic design of an oval spacecraft, and David's brow is furrowed in thought.
How did I get out of the ravine, Gina? I don't know.
Staring at a computer printout of the spacecraft we just saw on the hospital screen, Faraday's aides intensely study it. The computer stops printing and the aide rips the diagram out of the printer. We now realize we're in the hangar where the object was taken. The aide continues up to Faraday, who stands with several other NASA officials.
Dr. Faraday, I think you should take a look at this.
He stands in front of a mirrored observation window and puts on a pair of reading glasses because he's blind as a fucking bat. Faraday's jaw slowly drops open as he stares at the diagram.
Where the fuck did this come from?
Fuck, I would know. From the mind of a 12-year-old boy.
Cut to David.
No way. I'm not going.
Cut to Faraday.
I don't know. I don't think you understand the importance of this situation.
We don't care if it's a national security secret. If David says no, that's final.
Thanks, Dad. Let's drink.
But David,
God damn it.
Gosh darn it,
would receive treatment from the best minds in this country has to offer. Not to mention the
Hello.
Oh.
technical capabilities that this hospital is in no way equipped to provide.
That all sounds great, but the fact is our son has to go on living, and he can't do that in institutions. So until you can tell me something that makes 1 ounce of sense, we're going home, and that's all there is to it.
Right on.
Like it said back then. Faraday can only nod as the Freemans get up and get the F out.
The only problem is, how are you going to deal with never knowing the truth? The truth. The truth about where David's been for the past 8 years.
Wait, who's Bob?
Why he hasn't aged, and most of all, why he can't remember. David, I could offer you the truth.
Damn it.
All you have to do is give me 48 hours, 2 days, and that's it. 2 days at the base with me and my staff alone.
Creepy.
No confusions, no distractions, and you'll be able to return home when all of this is behind you. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yes.
Huzzah!
NASA Space Center. A large black limousine approaches the gates and slows. David and Faraday drive onto the base in silence. David glances out the window and his eyes seizes on the activity taking place in front of the hangar, which holds the saucer. Several armed MPs surround the entrance. David cranes his neck to look back at the hangar. Suddenly we hear a garbled metallic voice followed by the mysterious music cue. David looks as if we were almost under the power of the voice, struggles for a moment in an effort to regain control.
Who said that?
Who said what?
Jesus.
Never mind.
Faraday ain't having it. It looms in the twilight, an unsolved mystery. Its answer contained in the long black limo that sweeps in front of its entrance. David's room. Faraday shows David in the small, sterile-looking room that has been quickly prepared for the boys' arrival. It is filled with toys, a color TV, several computer games, cassette tapes, along with several totally inappropriate toys meant for a much younger child.
Stuff is for me?
Yes, it is.
David continues to scan the room, noticing a suspiciously positioned Teddy Ruxpin that is obviously meant for observation.
Okay, there's no telephone in here. I thought I was supposed to be able to call my parents.
Oh, we'll make that call together from my office first thing in the morning, okay? So why don't you just watch some TV and we'll get you something to eat. And by the way, this for you.
He hands him a Game Boy. Actually, he hands him a colorful NASA cap and hands it to him.
See you in the morning, David.
He leaves the room.
Hey.
He looks around his room and dejectedly lies down on the hard-looking bed, setting the NASA cap on the bedside table. He reaches up and turns on the TV suspended over his head. There's a music video, one of those totally non sequitur kinds where the words and images have nothing to do with each other. So basically MTV in the 80s. He watches the music video, confused and even more irritable than before. He starts flipping through the channels, getting some of the 1986 hit TV shows, nothing he's ever seen before. He goes back to MTV, more frustrated than ever. Suddenly the door opens and a Fred delivery robot whirs into the room and starts towards David.
What's going on?
The boxy delivery unit is heading right at him, its speed constant. David backs up against his headboard.
Get away!
Pardon me, coming through.
The unit crashes directly into the bed. Oh.
Thank you.
Its doors open, and inside is a tray of unappetizing cafeteria food that looks like it's been cooked in a microwave twice. Suddenly, the door swings open again, revealing Carolyn, a very pretty 20-year-old wearing a uniform. David immediately notices some strange splashes of purple color in her hair.
Hi, I'm Carolyn McAdams. I'm the one who interns on the base. They told me that you might be hungry after your trip.
David watches her take the tray out of the Fred and places it beside him on the bed.
What's that thing?
Oh, that's Fred. That, like he says on the plate, it stands for Freewheeling Robotic Efficiency Device. He delivers mail and supplies.
How does it work?
Oh man, it's super easy. Okay, see the chart? There's like a number on it for each department. So you like punch the number here and then it goes to the department. I guess I could have just handed you this junk myself, but then I thought Fred would make it more fun.
Great. He's great. And you're so smart. I wish I had one of you at home. I mean, of him at home.
Right? Where's home?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, wow. Gross. Really? I lived in Fort Lauderdale for like a year when I was like a kid. No big deal. But like I lived everywhere for like a year because like I'm an army or air.
Drink.
Uh-oh, drink.
I hate to interrupt that because that's just beautiful.
Let me get back to character. Hold on. I'm an Air Force brat. So, like, did you murder to get put in Mexican security?
I didn't murder anyone. I'm a national security secret.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
Okay, so like in that case, I shouldn't really be talking to you. So I'm gonna.
He starts to go.
Wait. Before you go, could you tell me something? It's 8 o'clock Tuesday night, right? How come Starsky and Hutch isn't on?
Starsky and Hutch? That was canceled like a long time ago because it sucked.
Canceled? How could they do that? That was my favorite show. What is this stuff?
Oh, have you like never seen a music video like WAP?
I've been gone for 8 years.
Oh, whoa. Gone where? Like outer space?
I wouldn't be surprised.
She continues to stare at him strangely, only half certain he's putting her on.
You know what? You know something? You're a weird kid.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one with purple hair.
Carolyn steals a look in the big mirror.
Judgy.
Yes.
I went to a concert with some friends last night.
My friends took me to see the Bee Gees a couple months ago. Who'd you go see?
We saw Twisted Sister.
I've never heard of her.
It's a hymn. Okay.
Oh.
Anyway, so you're serious about being away, aren't you? Like, what was it? Like a coma or something?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Weird. That's weird. Hey, well, I better get back to like the officer's mess. Is there anything that you want when I come back?
How about a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke? They're still around, I hope.
Well, it depends on what kind of Coke you want. Do you want like a new Coke, a classic Coke, a cherry Coke, a Diet Coke, a caffeine Coke, or the white powdered stuff?
What?
Sorry. Forget it. They're still around, but I'll do my best.
I'll go for the white powdered stuff.
Excellent. That costs a lot of money, but I can do that. I can pull some strings. Well,
I
I'll
like
see
it.
you later.
All right. Do interns make money?
The second Freeman home. Jeff is playing frisbee with Bruiser. The dog does a virtuoso double somersault through the hind legs catch that would have won the earlier frisbee competition. Helen suddenly appears.
Jeff, it's David on the phone.
The doctor watches David as he talks to his fam.
Yeah, they give me a NASA cap, and there are robots here that they call Fred. And there's this really nice, slightly smart girl who brings me my food. And there's this one other thing. They lock me in my room every night.
The locks are for David's protection. He's not a prisoner here.
They get angry.
Hey, don't take any shit, David.
Oh, fuck.
Doctor, don't forget your promise. David must be back here in 48 hours.
Don't worry, Mrs. Freeman. If David cooperates with us, then there'll be no delays in the timetable whatsoever.
David?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, Dad.
Oh. We'll see you soon.
Okay, Dad.
Sure miss you.
Sure miss you too, Dad. I miss all you guys a whole lot. Bye.
Testing lab. The walls of equipment are pulsating at full power. Almost a dozen technicians man their separate posts. David sits in the chair with electrodes attached to his skull and body. He looks incredibly frightened. A scientist sits in a chair in front of David with a clipboard. Faraday is back near the central console watching a large video screen, and he turns and nods to the assistant.
That's me. I don't know. Is NASA technician the same as technician number one?
I think they're different.
Okay, then it's not me.
Is technician number one Gina?
I'm
Yes,
number
Gina.
two.
Do it,
Oh,
Gina.
fuck. Okay, fuck
Do it,
it. I'll
Gina.
just take a drink. Hang on.
Damn it, Gina.
Damn it, Gina.
Damn,
All right, David.
Gina.
Damn, Gina.
Oh my God.
All right, David, if you can, try and remember what happened after you fell down the ravine.
Well, I was trying to stop myself, but
Suddenly, the equipment begins to whir to a pitch. It is a much more intense version of what happened in the hospital. The technicians scramble to maintain control. Again, the LEDs read out 12.78, and Faraday locks in the master console.
Everyone keep calm. Let's just bring her up to speed.
Faraday rapidly hits several buttons and switches in succession. The computers, printer, and screens all begin to surge with power.
what's going on?
Is that still Gina?
No, it's science.
No, this is now this one's me now, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Scientist
Okay.
one. What the
How many
hell?
damn scientists
All right,
are there?
It's all right, David.
God dang it.
Everything's fine.
Everything's ready, sir.
All right, we'll take them up slowly, past output first.
Several technicians readjust a series of screens, dials, and switches, and Faraday motions to the technician with David to proceed.
What is your name?
Before David can even answer, his name suddenly appears on the screen in front of Faraday. David Scott Freeman.
We're in sync. Our system is perfect in sync with the boy's brain.
Wait a second. How did that happen? I didn't say a thing.
Faraday and the others are too excited with their achievement to even notice David's question. Faraday, still staring at the screen, calls out.
Next question.
David, where have you been for the past 8 years?
I told you, I don't know.
Machinery again surges with power as the words appear on the screen. In analysis mode on Phelan.
That one's not me.
Gina.
Oh, that's Gina? Fuck. God damn.
Come on, Gina.
But what source of power did you travel?
Suddenly, every computer in the room whirs madly as the screen says out the words power sources. The technicians look on as a long list of alien energy sources fills the screen. Faraday turns to one of his fellow scientists.
My God, who knows what's inside this boy's head? We could go on like this for years.
What are you talking about? Who's putting that on the screen?
Faraday gets up from the console and approaches David. Technician number one leaves, also known as Gina. Faraday sits down in the seat.
You, David.
That's impossible.
How is it? Fuck. How far is it from Earth to Phaleon?
I've never heard of that place.
On the screen, equivalency 560 light years.
How long did it take you to get there?
His brain transmits 2.2 solar hours.
Einstein's theory.
That's the only possible explanation.
Einstein's theory?
Yes, David, you see, if you were traveling beyond the speed of light, you could have been gone for 4.4 hours, while the rest of us aged 8 years.
David looks more confused and frightened than ever before. Faraday leans in closer for one last question.
David! Where is Phaleon?
How am I supposed to know?
Again, the computers go nuts, but this time every screen in the room begins to flash with star charts as his mind searches through all known solar systems and galaxies. Each chart explodes across the screen with incredible rapidity.
He's searching through the star charts!
Suddenly, the screens go black. The room falls silent. All equipment is still. Faraday slowly stands when every single piece of machinery in the room starts to build into a tremendous pitch, as if they were literally going in reverse. A technician steps up to Faraday as new charts race against the monitors.
Scientist 3, Technician 3?
No, different.
Possibly.
Fill it in.
Sure. The computers have reversed into retrieval.
Faraday slowly walks back through the screens, leaving a very distressed David behind.
Wait! My God, these are totally uncharted systems. Our computers don't contain this information.
Finally, the charts stop as a computer-simulated solar system approaches the screen. Several transparent planets rotate on their axes as we zoom past them on the third planet from the sun, which pulses different colors as it spins on its axis.
David! Is this Phaleon?
How would I know? But on the screen appears the word, yes! David leaps out of his chair. Let me out of here! He rips the electrodes from his head and bolts out of the room, and screens go dead. David is at the window staring moodily off at the distant hangar. Carolyn enters.
Hey.
Hey, Carolyn.
Fred enters behind her, its door opening to reveal a tray of food. Beside it are several plastic astronaut food packets.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry for the cafeteria food again, but I'm still working on that request.
For the cocaine.
I'm a professional actor. Okay. I thought you might like to try some of the stuff the astronauts eat in space. So, how's the thing going?
Terrible. At least I get to go home tomorrow.
Oh, like for real? They told you that you were gonna go home tomorrow?
That's right. Why?
Nothing.
Karen glances towards the two-way mirror.
Carolyn.
She turns away from the mirror and whispers to David.
I've seen the something sheet coming week, and they've got you on it.
Until when?
All week.
That's impossible! They promised me it would only be 48 hours!
He pounds his fists in fury. The observation from David's, next to David's, shit.
Drink.
Two lazy guards bolt out of their chairs. David's voice reaches through the speakers in the room, and the guards suddenly realize the boy has known about them all along.
I want out of here right now!
Carolyn comes up behind David.
You guys hear me in there? You don't think I watch television? Wake up!
It's not as bad as it seems.
How would you know? You ever been cut up? Have you ever been cut up? Wow. Have you ever been cut off from your family and end up put in some awful place you hate?
Yeah, I mean, just about once every 18 months, because, you know, for as long as I can remember.
What?
Yeah, like I've been all alone my whole life. I think that's supposed to be like. Every time my dad got new orders, I had to start over.
What did you do?
Lots of cocaine.
You tried to, I can't find that though.
What did I do? I mean, I was just a kid.
Didn't you have friends?
I mean, not that many. I was just hard meeting new people.
Tell me about it.
I don't know. I guess just everyone just needs to be told everything's gonna be okay once in a while.
David and Karen look at each other for a long beat, and then David moves to the tray of food and knocks it off Fred so it lands in the mirror. Carolyn kneels down below the mirror and picks up the tray, and David moves next to her.
You've got to help me, Carrie from Sex and the City. I'm going to get out of this place.
David, I just want to be a writer.
No, please.
I don't want to.
Call my parents. Tell them what's going on. They're in information. Bob and Helen Freeman, Fort Lauderdale.
Observation room. The two guards are leaning up against a mirror to try to see what David and Carolyn are doing below.
What are they doing?
David's room.
Well, I better get back to work. Oh, it's still my line.
It is.
You know, you're cute. Did I ever tell you that?
Just my mom. That's awkward. I don't think that counts.
He stares into his eyes for a moment, and he meets her gaze. Then with a quick smile, she exits. Activity around the hangar has died down. Only a few guards stand before the massive blast doors. It's dark. David lies on top of his bed. His eyes suddenly pop open as we hear the garbled metallic voice in the music cue. He listens for a moment and then responds as if someone were talking to him.
Yes, I'm here. Yes. Help you? How? Where are you?
David listens, then climbs out of bed and steps up to the window. He's facing the hangar. Suddenly, the door to his room opens and Fred comes whirring in. David takes a quick glance at the mirror and then watches as the doors to the Fred wide open. He peers in. There's a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. He hears the voice again.
What? Yes, I heard you. Yes, I'm coming.
Turns back to the hangar. There are several code numbers on the giant blast doors. He studies the Fred unit's order panel. There are several code numbers engraved on the programmable panel, and one of the numbers matches the code on the hangar blast doors. His back to the mirror, he begins to reprogram the Fred, the way Carolyn taught him in the first place. The two guards are sound asleep. We can see David through the mirror as he climbs inside the Fred unit and buzzes out of the room. The Fred whirs down a ramp and cuts in front of a pair of NASA officers, and it renders his unusual amenities.
Pardon me, coming through. Move, you walking garbage can. Thank you.
David is scrunched up inside the delivery compartment, trying to see a narrow slot. The hangar is getting closer and closer. Two guards step forward into the path of the approaching Fred.
Pardon me, coming through.
Christ, doesn't anyone sleep around here?
There's always some egghead playing with test tubes in the middle of the night.
The guard turns and inserts a car key. Inserts a card key, which hangs around his neck under the door. The door slowly grinds open.
Come on, move.
One of the guards gives the Fred unit a swift kick in the rear. The door that conceals David props open, and David steps in his tracks.
Now look what you did. You broke it.
David is almost fully exposed to the two guards. He stares directly into their knees as they stand before him arguing.
Hey, I didn't break it. It broke itself.
That thing probably cost a couple $1 million, and you just broke it.
Just as one of the guards is about to peer inside the door, Davis notices a button next to the latch of the door. He depresses it. Fred hums back to life and slams directly into the face of the guard, causing the door to slam shut. The guard quickly jerks up in a frame, holding his nose as the robot buzzes past.
Thank you.
Enters the hangar. David starts breathing a little easier. We move ahead of the Fred as it whirs down a ramp past banks of computers and exotic electronic equipment mounted on steel racks. It traverses a shiny, wet-looking cement floor, then whirs to a stop and turns itself off. The doors of the unit open several inches, and David continually pulls...
There you go.
He pulls out. Bright lights hit his face, and he winces, momentarily blinded. Then as his eyes adjust, he sees something that jars his senses like a thunderbolt, revealing the flying saucer seen in detail for the first time, its metallic surface reflecting the bright lights in the hangar. Heavy chains anchor it in 4 places to the floor of the hangar, but it still hovers 6 feet off the ground, supported by nothing. Approximately 25 feet in diameter, the simplicity of its design sets it apart from Earthling's notion of a flying saucer. He stares in awe. The outline of it's a flying saucer, everybody. David stares up at the open hatchway, more terrified than ever. His curiosity almost equal to the fear. David bravely takes a step forward. He suddenly makes the bravest decision of his life. He slowly approaches the steps and cautiously plants one foot on the first hovering in the air step. He looks down. He puts his weight on the foot, and the floating chromium steps behind him. David slowly climbs the steps. The dark, foreboding interior of the ship contrasts with the reflective surface. Summoning his courage, he climbs to the top of the steps and peers inside.
Hello?
He's inside it now.
Hello? Dr. Faraday?
He He looks at the amazing glow with wonder because it's glowing, when suddenly a seat pops up beneath him. His head touches the half-circle headrest. Suddenly the walls and ceiling come to life with light, and a deep, resonant electronic whirring penetrates the ship. David springs from the seat with a startled yell and stands staring around the control room. He notices an electronic eye configuration built into the center of the front wall panel. Then a voice, unlike anything he has ever heard, but might be made by the guy who voices Pee Wee Herman, speaks, communicating with David's mind. But before we do that, everybody, I think we need to sing happy birthday to Joey, because today is his birthday. On the count of 3, let's give him a proper horrible Zoom birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I think I'm really off time with everybody. I really wish you could go back to 1986 now, but yeah,
that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was the best shit ever.
Just to be able to sing this today.
And a voice, unlike any ever heard by the audience, speaks, communicating with David's mind. It is powerful and authoritative, not unlike the Wizard of Oz, like this.
Please sit down.
Who's that? Are you the one that's been calling me?
That is correct. I am a drone ship from the planet Phelan. My navigational systems were damaged during my mission on your planet, and now I must return to Phelan. Your brain contains the data necessary to get me there. Sit down.
I think there's been some sort of mistake.
Of course, this is not standard procedure, but in this case, you will do. Awaiting initial vectors.
David is so taken back by the eye, he stammers for words.
Hold on. I don't have any vectors. I'm just a kid.
Incorrect. You have been programmed with all the appropriate navigational data.
You mean that's why my brain's been coming up with all that stuff?
Suddenly, from out of the wall in front of David, a periscope-like eye appears. The eye zooms up to David and stops in front of his face. It stares at David for a moment and then lets loose a nervous blink or two.
Yes. You are the Navigator.
Great!
First Navigator.
In your control room.
Jeez.
One of 2 guards stretches and yawns, looks at his watch, and then cautiously gazes up at the TV monitors. Suddenly, he is on his feet, staring at the monitor in disbelief. Through the doorway to the flying saucer, lights are on, active and blinking.
Holy Campbell.
Huh?
Oh my God.
They stare for an instant, then the first guard springs to a wall-mounted control box. Throwing open the cover, he slams his fist against a row of buttons, and suddenly a loud alarm klaxon sounds through the building. The first guard grabs for a red folder and flips it open, reading it a shout as the second guard runs to a control panel, activating the commands.
Seal all blast doors. Activate penetration recording. Activate all radiation surveillance consoles 1 through 20. Switch control monitors to...
The MP's barracks, just as the sun peeks over the horizon. Several armed MPs burst out of the barracks. Some are still pulling on their pants. Others are half-dressed as they race towards the hangar. Faraday and his entourage sprints out of the building as the gates close, red lights flashing as several jeeps, trucks, and NASA vehicles blast out of the hangar and head towards the saucer. Faraday, a dozen other technicians, and several MPs approach at a dead run.
Faraday.
Oh.
What? Wait a second. We have radiation?
Negative. We show a cold room.
All right, we'll get this goddamn door open.
When?
Now!
In the saucer.
Navigator, I detect numerous alien life forms approaching.
Aliens? Where?
A viewing screen. They see them.
I forgot about
Oh, yeah, those aren't aliens. Those are somewhat human beings. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get it for this.
Holy shit. It's an alien.
No, it isn't. You idiot. It's the kid.
Oh, great.
Don't move.
Faraday starts to slowly approach.
Jeez. He's trying to kill me. What do we do now?
Protective hover is advised.
Will that keep the door closed?
Of course.
Okay, let's do that. But if anyone asks, you're the one who locked the door, okay?
Compliance.
The hatch suddenly recedes back into the ship. Then the ship hums to life, sending a huge blast of ionized wind towards the troops. Everyone's hair stands on end and their clothing buffets. The monitoring equipment sputters and sparks. The chains anchoring the ship suddenly tighten, strain, and snap. The saucer slowly starts rising until it's about 12 feet off the ground. David is in his chair, clutching his armrests.
Request initial maneuver for return to Phelan.
I don't have any maneuvers. I just want to get out of here.
Understand you wish to depart hostile alien environment?
Yes?
Compliance.
The bizarre, unearthly sounds from the saucer build in intensity. Papers and lightweight objects fly around wildly. Lights around the base are shorting out crazily. Shit's going haywire. Everything's just going to hell. And then Faraday says,
Tracking!
Right.
Everyone on the ground reacts as the saucer buzzes away. David clings to the wall of the ship, his eyes on the viewing screen and the people looking up at them.
How did you do that?
Repeat. Awaiting coordinates to Phelan, Navigator.
But I don't want to go to Phelan. I want to go home.
Navigator.
Shit.
I cannot return to my planet without you.
Look, I gotta think. Just go 20 miles from here.
Compliance.
The saucer shoots away. David is pinned back in the seat by the incalculable velocity of the ship, his face distorting, making it almost impossible to speak.
What are you doing? Stop!
The saucer jolts to a stop. The sudden stop has plastered David to the ceiling. He then drifts weightlessly downward, his NASA cap floating in front of him, and he looks pale and wan. He stares at the balloon-sized planet they just left.
You requested this distance.
It didn't mean straight up. Take me back.
Compliance.
David's face contorts even worse on the way back down. All he can manage is a prolonged howl of fear.
Oh, no.
Hurtles towards Earth. Faraday and his entourage of aides, scientists, and technicians run in.
Oh.
Gina.
Oh, there's like 40 different types of technicians.
I know.
Okay, so I guess it's Gina. Gina's back. Sir.
Oh, Gina.
Gina's back.
Damn it, Gina.
Damn it, Gina. Sir, it just shot straight up and over Mach 10 and stopped 20 miles up.
It's headed back.
The sun is rising as Faraday and company rush out onto the tarmac. Faraday stops suddenly, pointing skyward.
There it is!
Carolyn and the other interns watch. The saucer comes to a stop right outside the hangar. David stares out the viewing screen as the people race towards the ship.
Wow. How'd you do that?
That was a third-class maneuver, Navigator.
Right?
If that was third class, what's a first class?
Strange motors rise up beside him, energy snaking through them. The walls of the ship begin to change shape, elongating. David looks around in fear, his eyes widening.
Uh-oh.
The saucer's hull suddenly begins to transform into a mirrored surface. With an electronic rumble, the surface expands, becoming longer and more dramatic in design. The saucer has altered its very shape. When the transformation from hover mode to Class A mode is complete, the craft shoots away again, this time just above the ground. Its incredible velocity and suction tearing the roofs off 3 small equipment sheds. Shooting from behind, it zips along the ground. The landscape speeds up so fast. It's going fast, y'all.
Hey, I'm getting destroyed. Can you fix this seat?
Compliance.
It conforms.
Oh, that's great. Now, could you slow down a little bit so I can see?
How many pack marsers, Navigator?
Drake!
It just go half as fast as we're going now.
It goes slower.
Thanks, that's a lot better. Now, how fast can one of these things go anyway?
Maximum speed, Septarg Unfull Quadra pack marsers.
Oh.
The saucer appears above the horizon. David climbs urgently out of the seat and looks around the ship.
We are precisely 20 miles from point of origin. You must give me the coordinates to Phelan now. My time is running out.
Not now. I gotta go.
Oh, no.
Go where, Navigator?
Right?
To the bathroom.
Okay, go get more.
Where is it?
Do not know bathroom.
Well, you will in a second if you don't open the door.
Why?
Just do it, or you'll be sorry. I'll be right back, I promise.
Do not know promise.
David groans. Faraday, his aide, and the technicians are glued to the map. Carolyn moves through the rear of the room, followed by a Fred unit. She begins removing several files and maps from Fred's storage compartment.
Jesus, how did he get out? We had security everywhere.
Glances at the Fred compartment, realizing that's how.
And how in the hell did he get inside that ship?
There they are, sir, on a farm about 20 miles from here.
We've got to find a way to keep them on the ground.
The cows moo like this. And then they move around a little as David leaves the ship and starts relieving himself behind a bush. The eye of the ship watches him as he pisses.
What are you doing?
Can't I have a little privacy?
Do not know privacy.
The eye appears out the door at a cow. The cow turns and moos at the cow scurries away. David zips up and moves towards the eye.
What are you doing here anyway? Wow, that is a creepy, creepy cow impression. What are you doing here anyway?
I was sent on an exploratory mission to collect samples of several species of life from different galaxies. I chose you.
Why me?
Well, because you weren't moving. Upon examination on my planet, it was discovered that your inferior species uses only 10% of your data bank. So they programmed it to capacity to see what would happen.
What happened?
It leaked.
If I was so inferior, why did you take 8 years to bring me back?
Correction. You were away from your planet only 4.4 solar hours.
Oh, come on. You took me away from my family, my home. And when you brought me back, it was 8 years later. They've all changed. Everything's different except me.
David starts to walk away. The eye starts to dance around.
Navigator, you said you would not run away.
I am not a navigator.
Great.
David.
Does your species often say one thing and do another?
I'm not setting foot in there until you promise to take me home.
That is not possible. My vessel was damaged on my return to Phelan. I no longer possess the knowledge to fully operate this vehicle.
In other words, you need me and my inferior brain to fly that thing.
Correct. That is why I have been calling you. If you will allow me to transfer the knowledge from your databanks back to mine, I will again be functional.
All right, fine. I will give you the information if you'll take me home.
The sound of approaching helicopters. 3 NASA helicopters blast over the hilltop and they form into a tight triangle ahead of the saucer. The sight and sound of the helicopters send the cattle running in all directions.
Come aboard quickly, Navigator.
Not until you promise to take me home.
Joe King, 25, in charge of the helicopter group, squints down toward David and the ship, then reports into his headset.
We've spotted them. The boys outside the ship.
Try to keep them on the ground.
The helicopters swoop.
I cannot take you home. I must return to my planet.
Fine, do it yourself.
Navigator.
Oh,
We're
God.
jeopardizing us both. We are in danger of imminent capture.
I still haven't heard your answer.
Okay.
Very well, Navigator. I will take you home.
David bounds up the steps and the eye follows. David leaps into the chair on the viewing screen and he can see the attack helicopter circling.
Request instructions.
Just get us out of here.
Compliance.
In the helicopter, reflected sunlight illuminates the young scientist's startled face. Shape-shifting sound effects are heard, followed by the sound of the saucer shooting away. King's helicopter shakes. It is buffeted to the tail wash.
My God, it just changed shape and took off so fast it nearly knocked us all out of the sky.
Faraday watches the scope over the shoulder of an amazed technician.
Can you follow it?
I'm sorry, sir. No possible way.
Gina's eyes widen as she blips and shoots off the screen. Clouds streak past on the viewing screen and David sits in the chair amazed at the speed. Florida's coastline hurtles towards them, which is something I wish on no one ever. The ship blasts over a series of bluffs and rockets towards the ocean surface.
Just take me back to the ravine where you first found me. I can make it back home from there.
That is not possible. I no longer contain the coordinates necessary to perform that order.
Well, what can you do?
The saucer zips over the ocean and the clouds and whitecaps are reflected in a mirror surface.
There are many things I can do. I am versed in several thousand different languages in the universe. I have analyzed species from civilizations light years beyond your own.
But you still can't get me back to Fort Lauderdale, can you? I can barely read that. Jeez.
Do not know Fort Lauderdale.
which is something everyone who lives in Fort Lauderdale wishes were true for them.
Isn't
As
it
the
true?
saucer continues over the ocean, sun glinting.
All right, just take me somewhere where they can't find us. I need to think for a minute.
Compliance!
And you really don't have to shout like that. I'm right here.
Compliance.
Much better. Thank you.
Why don't we just make compliance another one of the words, as long as we're getting this drunk?
No.
Why would you say such a thing to us? How, Frank?
No.
Frank?
No.
No,
Bonus
Frank.
drunk word.
I literally had to go get 2 more White Claws.
Real? Oh, wow. You are going hardcore.
Yes,
Kylie.
because
I'm on
you guys
number
keep
4.
saying Navigator and David.
Guys, you know what? This seems like an appropriate time to remind people to please donate to our charity for tonight, which is a nonprofit organization that basically they give kids who have been diagnosed with cancer the room of their dreams. And it is a wonderful organization. And you can donate by going to scriptsgonewild.com. Click on the donate tab. It will take you directly to the Special Spaces portal. And it's an awesome organization. Give them thousands of dollars right now, right this second.
Right this second.
Right this second.
Right now.
I'll take a shot to
What
that.
page are we on? Because I had to go get more White Claw.
68.
68? Okay.
Top of the
So
page,
close.
68. It's number 70 in the actual
That's
number.
So close. It could have been 69. Could have been 69.
Hey.
Interior.
So we're only 50 pages away, folks. So
That's right.
buckle in.
Only 125 navigators away, plus special phrasing. Here we go.
David stares out the viewing screen, his mind deep in thought, when suddenly his eyes glow wide, his face goes pale.
What are you doing?
The shape is heading towards a large expanse of blue-green water. He holds onto the chair as they crash into it, his body jolting forward. Sound of bubbles as the shape of the ship's interior changes into its hover mode.
I didn't say take us under the ocean. All I asked for was a place where they couldn't find us.
This was the first place suggested by my databanks.
David climbs out of his chair and presses his face against the viewing screen, and a big fish stares back at him.
Will this thing leak?
Oh, no.
Navigator.
Yeah.
Navigator. I do
Yeah.
not leak. You leak, remember?
Oh, God damn it. All
Finish
right.
your drink, everybody!
Refilled. Jesus.
It's so hard to finish White Claw.
I regret singing happy birthday to Joey.
Fine.
Oh, the fizz. Oh, the fizz.
Fine, you vindictive voice, you.
I
Whatever.
just
Let's
take
I
a
just,
apologize if I burp because carbonation.
that's a lot
man.
of carbonation going on.
That's
Whatever.
so much
Let's just,
carbonation.
hey, drink your drink and let's just get this mind transfer thing over with.
Let's do it. Oh,
You have a
drink
lot.
up,
now.
buddy.
Come
Drink
on,
up.
Joey. hey, Joey, is it weird talking to yourself right now?
I keep wanting to say your lines. Yeah.
That's why it's fun.
It's funny. Yes, that is correct. We should perform the mind transfer. Sit here, Navigator.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
fuck.
Greg. David follows the eye over the chair and sits. The eye then races to a large control panel and actually fiddles with the fiddle. No. Suddenly, a thin shaft of light appears from the ceiling directly over David's head. The shaft slowly moves across David's head, much like some kind of alien Xerox machine. The
That
light
doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right, Billy Ray. Come on. Oh, that's it? That's it?
That's it, David. That's all there is to it.
Great.
Oh, Jesus.
What happened to you?
Wow. This is weird, but I think I may have picked up information from your brain that has nothing to do with navigating this ship.
You sound just like me 26 years in the future,
This
but
just
not.
can't happen. You are an inferior species. I want to go home.
Well, I want to go home.
I don't know you're home.
I know you don't, you dumb dork.
Inferior weasel.
Alien toad.
Suddenly, dozens of electrical tentacles appear, wrapping around David's arm, neck, and face.
My sensors report you have the following changes in your system. Your voice is louder, your adrenaline level has increased, your face has turned partly red in color.
Tentacles
Okay.
disappear.
Is this normal?
Yes, it's very normal. It's called Asian glow. It's also called anger.
Perhaps this condition called anger is a reason why your species decays so rapidly.
Oh, really? Well, if you're so perfect, what are you still doing here?
I crashed.
You crashed. How could such a perfect ship crash?
I was examining the local flora and fauna known to your planet. The small, multicolored variety, they have quite a unique scent.
You mean you crashed while you were looking at flowers?
Sort of. I didn't see those hanging electrical towers. It was really a drag. What's wrong with me?
I don't believe this. I'm stuck with a broken down drone ship from another planet that smells flowers. I'm sorry I yelled. If my mom were here, she'd probably say I'm overtired or something. This is the first time I've been away from my family except for summer camp last year.
Family? You mean Mom, Dad, Jeff Bruiser?
That's one way to call them. I never thought I could miss them this much.
Faraday, his aide, technicians, and Gina are studying their screens and monitors, frustrated.
Nothing. No sign of them at all.
Well, that's just wonderful. We've lost possibly two of the most important discoveries of this century. What else could possibly go wrong?
It starts to rain. No, just kidding. Steps up to Faraday.
Very nice.
Technician two.
Sir, it's Bob.
Is that me?
I was muted. Sir, it's Bob Freeman on the phone.
Hello, Bob. David? Oh, well, actually, he had a very rough day of testing, and we're letting him get a little sleep right now. Yes, I'll be sure to have him call you when he wakes up. All right. Goodbye.
Very distressed Faraday hangs up the phone and turns to one of the project security officials, Troy.
Who was the last person to Troy? Who was the last person to see David?
Oh, fuck. We got to drink on David, too, don't we?
Yep.
Fuck.
A Carolyn McAdams. She's one of the interns on the base.
Well, get her in here. I'd like to talk to her right away.
Her shift ended an hour ago.
Then let's find her.
In the saucer, David is still in the chair. A tear forms in his eye and slowly rolls down his face. The eye spots the tear and moves in close to his face. A tiny sensor snakes out and takes a sample of David's tear.
What are you doing?
He watches as the eye moves with its sample to a side of the craft that slides away suddenly, revealing a compact lab. David gets out of his chair and follows.
Does this liquid have something to do with the condition anger?
No, I guess we'll just call this one sad.
Eye puts the tear sample under a strange-looking microscope and studies it.
Bad.
Sad is when you miss people you love.
Saline, 38.2%. Hydrogen, 24.1%. Oxygen.
David opens a sliding door in the lab and is suddenly staring at the most bizarre collection of living specimens of alien life imaginable.
What are these?
In spacey-looking jars they are. A veritable Star Wars bar in miniature.
Those are my specimens. Pretty cool, huh? I don't believe this.
David moves up to the lab. A snake-like creature in a tubular aquarium recoils fearfully. The water instantly turns dark. David moves on and examines a barking bird type.
Last one pooped. Where do they come from?
That is a garpuntel from Tartan.
David moves to a thin, spindly little beast that stands up on its thin legs and backs away quivering in its glass cage.
How about this?
That is a Phoenostaris from the Pixar Elliptic.
Pixar,
David,
okay.
Pixar.
That's right. David moves past the swimming star and looks at a giant potato bug behind glass bars. The bug suddenly jumps forward, snarling, and grabs David's NASA cap. A tiny lion in the adjoining cage pokes his head out through his bars and bites the other end of the cap. The two animals play tug-of-war until David manages to yank it free. David then turns to a darkened cage and cautiously peers in. Two black eyelids suddenly open, revealing an eye the size of a basketball. David jumps back startled and notices a salamander creature with 3 legs.
What's this one?
That is a Puckmarin from Binpuka Minor. He's a brat. A brat?
Can I hold him?
Brat!
Yeah, brat. Can I hold him?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
David pets it, and the Puckmarin chortles gleefully.
Hey, little Puck Marin. Oh, you sound like you're a bit weird. Hey, little Puck Marin. How long have you been in that jar?
The Putmarin pisses on his hand and starts complaining in some squeaky and unintelligible tongue. With one of his big feet, he points accusingly at the eye.
Well, that's gross. What is he saying?
He says I'm a mean machine because I won't return him to his home planet. But he does not know it was destroyed by a comet years ago.
Orphan. I wish I could take you home with me. Jeff would really flip out.
Putmarin rubs his face against David's cheek and chortles contentedly.
Listen, he's laughing.
What's laughing?
David tickles the Putmarin, it blows its load, and it makes it howl with delighted laughter. David laughs with it.
What?
I need a tissue. You sure don't know how much about us, do you?
You got it all wrong. We studied you thoroughly.
Maybe, but you sure missed the best part.
What is the purpose of laughing?
The purpose? I guess it makes you feel happy. You should try it.
The ship makes a strange effort at laughter, its metallic voice startling the Putmarin, but only serving to evoke another burst of laughter from David. The ship tries different laughs. David starts to explore the rest of the ship. He stops in front of the cosmic clock. The alien symbols continue to disappear one by one.
I don't even know what's really going on anymore. I've drank too much. What's this?
Oh no! I completely forgot!
Forgot what?
Oh no! My masters are gonna kill me! They can't find out about this!
What is the matter with you? Masters? What are you talking about?
I was sent to this planet by my masters.
Ooh.
This clock shows the amount of time I have to return home.
What happens if you don't make it?
I must make it!
Okay, whoa, calm down. It's okay.
Suddenly, the ship starts to rumble as if about to explode. David dives for the chair as lights begin to flash throughout the ship, followed by a loud foghorn-like blast. The entire ship goes dark.
What's happening? Where are you?
It is the masters.
What are you doing hiding behind me? Go talk to them.
The eye creeps to the center of the ship. A blinding shaft of blue-white light falls on it, and the shaft of light pulsates as we hear several electronic bursts of alien language. The eye quickly chatters in the strange alien tongue, and the masters make a final response and disappear. The ship's lights return, the engines hum back to life, and David moves over to the eye.
What was that all about?
They came to remind me about the time.
How much time do we have?
Only 32 centaurs.
So how much in Earth time?
1.5 Earth hours.
That's all. Well, we better get moving. All right, let's be logical. Ask your computer what my best shot is.
I think we should leave this ocean.
Are you sure you guys are millions of years more advanced than us?
And they leave the ocean.
Okay.
David clings to the navigator's chair with whitened knuckles.
Slow down. Wait next time until I'm in the chair.
I'm sorry, David.
Drink.
David.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. Shit, where's my... Okay.
What number are you on right now, Kylie? Kylie, what number are you on right now?
This is 5.
That's my girl.
Oh, that is so...
We're at the second Freeman home, starting tight on the elaborate cake that has David's face drawn on it with colored icing. Helen is sitting at the table. Bob is hanging a Welcome Home David banner.
David Banner?
Hey-o.
Hey!
Doorbell. They approach. It's Carolyn.
Hi, are you the Freemans?
That's right.
Oh, I'm a fan of your son's. I was like platonic. I was supposed to call you, but like I thought it might be better if I just come by in person.
Where is he? Why haven't they brought him home yet?
Carolyn nervously watches as a mysterious-looking van pulls to across the street.
Can we go outside?
Troy and his boys sit in the van watching the house.
Dr. Faraday, we've located the McAdams girl. She's inside the boy's house with his parents.
Inside the house.
Faraday, that bastard lied to us!
They start off, leaving Bob and Jeff at the window. There is sudden knocking at the front door.
What is it? What do you want?
Carolyn hurries away from the house and runs straight into the arms of a Secret Serviceman. She fights unsuccessfully to get free.
Help me!
Troy knocks authoritatively on the door.
Mr. Freeman, we've been sent to inform you, sir, that you and your family are under protective custody by the authority of the United States National Security Act.
The saucer. It does a nosedive to the right, headed towards the city below.
Look, there's a large city down there. Maybe it's Miami. Let's go lower.
It does.
This isn't Miami. It's Tokyo. Look at all the racist caricatures of Japanese tourists. I mean, seriously. Okay, back up.
It does. A technician watches the NORAD map when the government of the saucer to Japan is being monitored. He turns to Faraday.
Do we have one of these?
Number 2? Who's right?
Number 2.
Japanese Air Command reports visual contact over Tokyo, sir.
It wasn't me.
Tokyo!
Sir, the target has left Japanese airspace.
Good job,
Well,
Gina.
where's it going now?
Back into the saucer.
We keep getting farther and farther away.
You're the navigator, not me.
Drake?
Ugh, you geek. Can't you even come
So
up with your
many
own one lousy idea on your own? We've been lost for an hour.
Geek?
Oh, I swear to God, if I was flying this thing, we'd be home by now.
Suddenly, all but a few of the interior lights go out and the engine stops and the ship begins to fall out of the sky.
Oh, we're falling. Do something.
Topples and topples. Faraday and the technicians watch the NORAD map as the blip reappears, tumbling towards Earth.
Oh my God, he's falling.
Gina.
Oh, wait.
Gina.
Wait, I lost. Wait, oh my God, he's falling. Okay. Did someone shoot them down?
I have
Together,
no idea, Gina. Jeez.
David clings to his chair and the ship turns over and over. The surface below is getting closer and closer on the viewing screen.
I take it back. We're equals, okay?
Eyes deactivated.
Listen, you are not a geek.
Still deactivated.
I want you to start the engines now. That is an order from your navigator.
Fuck.
Oh.
It keeps falling.
Oh.
The entire room is tense.
Pull up! Pull up!
Do it! Do it!
David frantically flips a series of switches.
Come on. Come on. One of these has got to start it.
The room is frantic.
1,000 feet and falling. Impact in less than 4 seconds.
Hurtling. David's in a panic.
What should I do? Tell me what to do.
Suddenly, he moves the correct trigger and the engines start up.
Now, if only I could figure out how to steer it.
David frantically pushes and pulls at various devices built into the chair. They are not buttons or knobs, but rather strange robotic instruments built into the chair. He uses his hands, elbows, and feet to move them around. Suddenly, the ship pulls up. Moments before impact, the saucer pulls out of its dive and swoops around. David lets out a whoop of excitement like this.
Whoop.
No one can believe their eyes.
He's pulled up.
In the saucer.
Fuck.
Wow.
The eye pops out.
Not bad.
You nearly killed me.
Well, we don't have much time. I figured the fastest way to teach you was to swim was to throw you in the water.
You liar. You did it to get even with me for what I said.
Do not know, get even.
Bullshit.
What? Bullshit.
Oh, 12-year-old
Unless you were
bullshit.
referring to
motherfucker.
brown lumps near cattle sighted earlier.
Quit using this do not know stuff. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The eye stares at David for a moment, then goes back to its panel and tinkers with some electronics. David continues to manipulate his feet, arms, and elbows, getting the feet off his control in an amazing flying machine.
You know, it isn't so hard to fly this thing. The slightest little move of my hand, and you go that way.
He leans to the right, and the ship steers to the right. On the view screen, you can see a landscape zooming by.
Jeez, I have no idea where we are. Wait, I've got an idea.
He's flying it.
I'm flying it. This is really weird. Nothing looks like it's supposed to.
Yeah, really weird.
The globe
Wait a
slowly
second.
rotates until we realize we were looking at the Earth upside down. The globe does a complete half turn. Everything suddenly looks normal, and the continents are now easily recognizable. He points towards Florida.
Aha! There it is. We want to head towards that thing that's sticking out of the ocean.
And that's
Wait,
what
what?
Florida's known as, that thing sticking out of the ocean. The alien symbols continue to disappear into the center of the clock.
Hurry! There's only 27 Earth minutes left. I can't be late.
I don't know where we are.
The ship is hovering over a large expanse of Florida farmland. A Mustang convertible can be seen as it moves down a highway. As he spots the Mustang,
Hey, maybe they can help us.
it goes downward. The bright red car is full of high school kids. The radio is blaring loud rock and roll music from the day. The car pulls to a stop at a stop sign, and the driver, a young freckled-faced kid, stares into the rearview mirror and his mouth drops open. The other kids are oblivious to this reaction. They just yell at him to got to go. He doesn't move. Suddenly, a huge shadow hovers the car. The other kids look directly upward, their faces falling with the exact same shock as the drivers, and their heads move in unison as they watch the saucer descend. It floats into frame. David leads out the open hatch.
Hi. You wouldn't happen to know which way to Fort Lauderdale, would you?
It would be
No?
very helpful if you could be very specific in your directions. We only have 27 Earth minutes left.
The kids just stare, and then
Florida!
the driver puts the pedal to the floor, and the Mustang screeches down the highway, leaving David in the eye in a wake of dust.
Jinx!
Back in Faraday's room. Back in the room with Faraday.
I'm so offended.
He's heading toward Central Florida.
Let's get our people out there right away.
Faraday moves out of the tracking room, followed by his men, and the camera pushes in on the red blip as it continues toward Fort Lauderdale, Florida. David continues to scan the landscape as the eye moves up next to him.
David?
Ah, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
What was that strange sound coming from the geek's vehicle?
Strange sounds.
The guy suddenly does a perfect imitation of the rock and roll that was playing on the Mustang's car radio.
Oh, yeah, that's called music.
I want to hear more of this music.
Well, let's see. Can you pick up radio waves?
I am equipped to receive over 2 million forms of radio signals. I can
Okay,
download all sorts of stuff.
okay, I got it. Try and see if you can pick up any signals that sound like what we heard.
The ship suddenly fills with a garbled assortment of CB conversation, TV channels, and airport transmission. Suddenly, the sound of music fills the air, and the ship locks in on the station. It is opera, the sextet, Lucia de Lammermoor.
No. That is far too complicated for me. That is not music. Try another station.
The channel changes, and Barry Manilow's Copacabana fills the ship.
Oh, no, that's like grandma's music. Change it, quick.
The channel changes again. This time, it's Marilyn Manson's Antichrist Superstar blasting through the saucer.
Hold it now. This is music. Yeah.
As it streaks across the horizon, it cranks over the action. The
Wait,
Beach
the
Boys,
people-
I Get
people-
Around.
No, okay.
I get around.
Am I singing this part?
Yeah.
I'm getting bugged driving up and down the same old strip. I've got to find a new place where the kids are hip. My buddies and me are getting real well known. Yeah, the bad guys know us and they leave us alone.
The saucer is zigzagging. They keep singing.
Round, round, get around, I get around.
Yeah.
Get around, baby, I get around.
It's fast as they sing.
I get around, I get around.
From town to town. I'm a real cool head.
Making a real good bread.
What's the
Making
Beach
a real
Boys?
bread? Is that the lyrics?
Holy shit, then there are helicopters.
Wait, stop. Turn off the music.
Why? This is great.
Look.
The eye moves up to the screen, and the helicopters are moving directly at them, as helicopters do. The ship bolts into the sky over them, and the eye shuts off the radio.
We got to find somewhere to hide.
The NASA helicopters move into frame and hover over the guard, and the camera slowly tilts down and moves along several bizarre pieces of conceptual art. First, we see a giant metallic cube, then what looks like a blob of silver goo stuck on a pedestal. The camera finally holds what the state of art these days on the base of a 16-foot chrome toothpick. The camera then tilts up, revealing our flying saucer perched on the tip of the toothpick. The camera continues up until we once again see the hovering helicopters. Obviously stumped, the copters move off into the distance. Helen, Bob, Jeff, and Carolyn are watching TV. Troy and several other agents look on. All exits and phones are guarded. On the TV, a newscaster is saying,
Yes, bizarre UFO sightings on 2 continents has stirred up a lively debate in the United Nations.
It's David.
Helen suddenly rises from her chair and starts toward the front door. Troy stops her.
Please, you've got to let us talk to someone. You can't keep us locked up in our own house.
Sorry, Miss Raymond.
Mom! Mom!
God damn it! We have the right to know what's going on.
Troy
This
just
is not
stands
2020.
there like a little bitch.
Just forget it, Dad. Can't you see you're talking to a robot? Remind me when I grow up not to be you.
Yes,
Sick
Jesus.
Four NASA vehicles speed toward the camera. The driver holding a two-way radio turns to Faraday.
Is that Gina?
Call it, Gina. Go
Is
for it,
that-
Gina.
is that
Just
Gina?
go for it, Gina. Just go for it, Gina.
Tracking reports the ship is headed toward Fort Lauderdale.
He's heading home.
The station is the epitome of dilapidation and is surrounded by stripped cars, piles of junk, and 3 old weather-beaten teepees. It boasts enormous, crudely painted signs which read, "Last gas stop 50 miles. See the authentic Seminole Indian Village and Alligator Farm. Ice cold drinks. Same location for 40 years." The saucer descends next to the pumps, and the hatch melts open and the stairs melt downward. The lowest step touches the rubber ground cable next to the pump, ringing a bell. The proprietor, an old man in a greasy overalls, about 70, pulls himself out from under an old truck. Without looking at his customer, he wipes his hands on his front and moves towards the pump.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
He stops towards he sees the saucer.
Oh, my.
David hurries towards him.
Hi. Hey, hi. Could I borrow some change so I can call my parents?
Dazed, the old man reaches into his coveralls and hands David a fistful of change.
Thanks.
He enters a ramshackle structure, leaving the old guy staring at the saucer. He approaches a payphone. As he dials 0, he pumps coins into a snack machine.
Hey, operator, I need information for Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mr. Robert Freeman. I don't know the address.
As the old man continues to stare in shock at the saucer, a station wagon pulls up, piled high with camping gear. A man in a Hawaiian shirt, like Eva has on, and Bermuda shorts gets out, along with his wife, in similar attire, plus 2 children in Miami Vice t-shirts. The tourist man stretches expansively, then calls out to the still motionless old man.
Ooh. Hey, Pop, mind if the missus uses your little girl's room?
The old man still stares at the saucer. The tourist man shrugs the old man's obvious senility and whispers to his wife.
Daddy, can we look at the flying saucer?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Rubbing his road-weary backside, he walks over to the old man and nods at the saucer.
Well, your Indian Village ain't gonna win no awards, but that flying saucer, well, hold on, I hit the backwards button. Okay.
Drink!
Drink!
Drink that shit.
But that flying saucer is first rate. How long did it take you to put something like that together?
The old man is still frozen.
That's okay. We'll just look around on our own.
He strolls over to his 2 children who are climbing under the saucer.
That one's gone. Hey, you get down from there. Place like this do not have insurance.
In the shack, David waits impatiently for the operator to place his call.
They
We have an
accept a
operator?
call from David Freeman.
Jeff indicates to his mother that it's David.
Yes, David, we have to talk fast.
Get 2 drinks, son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
for me.
Motherfucker, I did it for myself.
God damn.
There's Secret Service guys all over the place.
Ellen gets up and moves to the next room to distract Troy so Jeff can continue uninterrupted.
Jeff, try to keep the line free. David may call.
I hate you guys.
Just a minute. Where are you?
I'm in Florida somewhere. I wanted to come home, but I don't know how to find the house. I need some kind of signal I can see from the sky.
Just leave that to me. You'll find it.
Troy wanders in the room and Jeff quickly hangs up the phone. It
Forgot
goes
about
dead in his
this
hand and
part.
David hangs up. David rushes out and stops as he sees the tourist taking a photo of his wife and kids posed by the saucer.
We got to get out of here.
The tourist family watches, dumbstruck. David runs up into the hatch and the eye appears behind him, taking a quick look at the tourists as if they were the strangest aliens in the universe. Then it blasts them and turns them to ash.
God damn.
The saucer rises off the ground, an ion wind fluttering the onlookers' clothes and causing dirt to swirl around them. The tourist man points up at it, too stunned to find the words.
Son of a bitch! That was a real.
He just wanted to phone home.
Just
that
that
ET
ET
reference.
energy.
Ooh.
The saucer approaches and hovers to a stop above the complicated freeway interchange. The symbols are almost gone.
How much time do we have left?
Only 8 Earth minutes left.
Okay, let's see. So that's Highway 40. We'll follow that all the way to Fort Lauderdale.
He leaps into the chair.
Don't you think Highway 10 would be faster?
I'm navigating. Shut your pie hole,
He
voice.
does his operational kicking equipment, and the ship responds. In the Freeman home, Bob, Jeff, and Carolyn sit nervously in the living room. Troy and his fellow
Navigating.
agents stand watch over their every move. Helen moves to the TV and turns it on, and the Price is Right flickers onto the screen. We're talking about the Bob Barker Price is Right, people.
Excellent trip to Canada.
Get your pet spayed and neutered. Two of the agents' eyes are slowly diverted to the show. Troy still maintains his professional demeanor and does not watch.
Why don't you just sit down and watch? There's nothing better to do.
The two agents glance at Troy, then sit down next to Helen and begin to watch the show. Bob and Jeff glance at Helen, and she gives them a quick wink. David is at the view screen, the eye beside him. We can see the road sign. Highway 40, Fort Lauderdale, 35 miles. Miami, 62 miles on the screen in front of them.
There it is. All we have to do is follow this, and we are home free.
The two agents are now starting to get into the game shoe. Troy is sitting next to the Jeep.
Drink.
Uh-oh.
Troy's still
Uh-oh.
leaning against the wall. Helen nudges the agent next door.
Ooh, I'd take the kitchenette. How about you?
I'd go for the car. You can always sell it for money.
No way. The boat is worth much more.
Are you guys idiots? The African safari costs twice as much as the boat and the kitchenette put together.
Would any of you like coffee?
Sure.
Helen moves to the kitchen. Bob, Jeff, and Carolyn slowly follow her out of the room, leaving the agents intently watching the show. Jeff leads the family into a room off a second-story veranda. They close and lock the door and then push heavy furniture against it.
Hey, Mom, now that we're in the veranda, where's the stuff that you saved from David's room?
Break. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yep.
my God.
Over here.
Helen throws open a large closet. Jeff starts to rummage through David's old belongings and finds a bunch of Playboys. The saucer follows every turn of the road, 40 feet up. Cars screech off the road left and right. The saucer is approaching the downtown Fort Lauderdale skyline, which is not beautiful. David looks up at the cosmic clock. Only a few symbols remain as he scans the city.
Look at this. How am I ever going to find them?
Troy moves from room to room trying to find the Freemans. He yells to one of his men.
Have you seen them?
They must be upstairs.
Troy returns and rushes up the stairway, followed by the other agents. Jeff and the family are huddled around the box of fireworks they saw earlier in David's bedroom. They quickly line up in cones of the veranda. Troy and his boys search like madmen for the Freemans.
Where could they have gone?
Bruiser sits moaning anxiously up at the hatch that leads to the roof. Suddenly, he lets out a long bark. Troy rushes to the attic door and tries to open it. The door doesn't budge. Bruiser is barking louder and louder. Jeff and his family fumble with several books of matches. They attempt to light them. Finally, they get the matches lit. They light the first 3 cones. The fuses spark for a moment, then let out nothing but smoke. They're duds.
I don't believe it.
The cosmic clock is still ticking down, and the eye dances around it.
Oh no! Oh no! No! No!
He looks more dejected than ever.
Well, I guess we are
Suddenly,
shit
David
out
sees
of
something.
luck.
Beyond the buildings of the city, in a darkened suburban areas, there is a momentary glimmer of light, and then a large blast of skyrocket, followed by several multicolored fireworks spraying into the sky.
Hey, illegal fireworks! It's them!
David steers the ship through downtown Fort Lauderdale. All the dogs are going crazy because of the fireworks. The fireworks going closer and closer. Troy and the other agents are still struggling with the door. Troy glances out the hallway window, seeing the glow of the fireworks from the veranda.
What are they doing up there?
Jeff and his family continue to light off firework after firework, an incredible blaze of glory like that Bon Jovi song from Young Guns 2. Troy and 2 of his men charge the door one last time and come blasting into the attic. They stop in their tracks as they say, "Bruiser!" And by the look of that dog's face, it's constipated. There's no way these agents are getting near that roof. Away.
Good boy.
The saucer leaves the beautiful scenic downtown Fort Lauderdale and approaches the house. David moves to the view screen.
There they are. Ta-da!
Jeff, Helen, Bob, and Carolyn stand on the roof of the house, gazing up at the ship. David smiles from ear to ear as they descend towards the house.
Is that your family?
Yes.
David turns and glances at the cosmic clock. There are only 20 symbols left.
Hurry, we gotta get down there.
Compliance.
But now the eye becomes very quiet. It takes on a very strange look as if it has realized something terrible. David immediately picks it up on it.
What's wrong? Don't you understand? We've made it. I'm home.
I understand, David.
David looks at the eye for a moment, then steers the ship down towards his family. Bob, Helen, Jeff, and Carolyn stand watching in awe as the ship slowly toward the house. David turns to the eye.
There's something you're not telling me. What is it?
He tinkers with the console.
Must hurry. Our time is almost up.
Oh, the time. I know you're going to be late, but if I was you, I'd just explain to the masters that...
There's no explaining to the masters. Please go.
David's family and Carolyn are almost blown back by the ion wind. The eye finally turns to David.
Don't understand the situation, David.
Drink.
Yeah,
when
shit.
time runs out, I will be terminated.
Terminated? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger terminated? What are you talking about?
All missions are given a specific amount of time to be completed. a drone does not return within that time, it is destroyed.
Why?
It is the rule. Any malfunction will be resolved by immediate termination.
But that's stupid. How did you malfunction?
I malfunctioned when I helped you.
15 symbols remain.
There's not enough time for me to return to my planet.
But you must have known that all along.
You must go now or you will be destroyed with me.
Carolyn and the Freemans watch as the hatchway melts open. David turns to see his family less than 30 feet away as they beckon him.
Come on, David.
Jen.
You.
Run for it, dude.
David moves into the hatchway and stands on one of the floating steps. He's about to run to his family when something stops him. He turns for a final look at the ship. The eye appears in silhouette in the hatchway. Note, for the first time, it is emerging from tracks in the floor rather than tracks in the walls or ceiling. Several fire trucks along the NASA vehicles come screeching down the street. Faraday jumps out of the lead car and stares up at the ship. As he turns back to the ship, his face is filled with confusion. David's parents are frantic.
David, please.
Is that double or single?
Okay.
Wait, do I have to take two?
Oh.
Yes.
At this point, does it matter?
I can't even tell. Can't feel my feet anymore. Mom, Dad, Jeff, I'm sorry. Goodbye.
They're dumbfounded by his decision. He jumps back into the navigator's chair.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, Kenzo.
David!
Oh, no.
David!
Don't say it three
You
times.
must
Just say
get
it
off
once.
this ship. You must get off this ship immediately.
But before the eye can utter another word, the ship revs to a pitch and begins to shapeshift. The saucer finishes shifting into a Class A mode and launches into the heavens. Carolyn and the Freeman stare upward, and Faraday stands, his jaw still hanging open. David watches as his home and the people on the ground shrink away. The eye races up to David in a total panic.
I demand that you get off this ship.
How much time do we have?
Only 60 Earth seconds.
Okay, you call the masters and tell them I want to talk to them right away.
That's impossible. The rule is inflexible.
Bullshit. Call them.
No bullshit. It is not done.
If you don't do it, we'll both be terminated.
The eye hesitates for a moment. There are now only 8 symbols remaining on the clock. The eye finally moves to a hidden panel and flips it open. And inside the panel are a set of buttons that have never been seen before. The eye trips the buttons in a special sequence. Everything in the ship goes dark except for the clock, which glows from above, and there are now 7 symbols left. Suddenly, the ship rumbles and quakes, and for a moment, we think it may be destructing. Then the blue-white shaft of light we saw earlier pierces the darkness. The eye quavers under it as the blasting electronic language of the masters fills the ship. David jumps out of the chair and steps into the blue-white shaft. It is down to 6 symbols. He stares into the blinding light, total determination on his face.
Your majesties, I mean, your master ships.
There's a blast of sound,
things.
light, and energy so powerful it knocks David to the ground.
Please, just listen to me. You've made a mistake.
There are 4 symbols remaining.
Stop it and listen to me. I know you think the ship has malfunctioned, but it hasn't.
3 remain. The ship begins to rumble again, only this time like thunder from the distance.
I am telling you that all the ship has done is try to help me.
2 remain.
You sent the ship to take me to your planet, and by the time you returned, and by the time you returned to me, everything had changed. You made me a freak.
1 remains.
The ship didn't malfunction. You're the ones that malfunctioned. Now turn off that clock.
The final symbol freezes. The light slowly.
Yeah.
The eye creeps up next to David.
Wow. That was amazing.
What's happening? I'm drunk, so I don't know.
I have no idea either.
Good.
I'm sober.
That's not fair.
There is another blast of alien language. The eye responds. The blue-white light blinks out as the ship's engines regain full power.
What did they say?
I don't believe it. The masters have recognized their mistake. They are not going to terminate me.
Yeah! David hugs the eye.
We did it.
David!
Shit.
That was truly the most incredible thing I've ever witnessed as a Class A drone ship. I will always remember this voyage. Oh, there are many elements involving the quotient of time. Far beyond your knowledge, David.
God damn it.
The masters have instructed me to utilize these elements to eliminate the problems that were created.
Will it be dangerous?
I will let no harm come to you.
Will I ever see you again?
I don't know.
Comes louder.
You know what?
What, David?
Fuck.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, David.
The eye blinks several times.
That's not no.
No.
The eye blinks several times. If it could cry,
God damn it.
it would.
Thanks.
No big deal. Really, just don't say my
no.
name.
Oh no.
Yes, it is a big deal because we can see the beginnings of a tear in his eye.
Come on,
no.
let's get out. Come on, stop crying, you big baby. Let's get out of here.
Compliance.
Compliance.
Navigator.
It changes into Class A mode and then blasts off. We suddenly enter a dimension of sights and sounds never before seen on screen. It is Class A mode. The saucer appears and hurtles through the unearthly environment. He grips the navigator's chair. The bottom of the ravine, David is sprawled, motionless, in exactly the same position where he saw him fall so long ago. He groans a little, sits up, rubs his head, and pushes to his feet. Still dazed, he starts climbing up the steep embankment. He runs out of the wooded area and sees the family station wagon, engine running, lights on, sitting in the driveway. As he runs up to it, a rear door opens for him. Bob, Helen, and Jeff are sitting there impatiently, the same age as they were in the opening. David just looks at them, too overcome with emotions to speak.
Who speaks?
Bob.
Dad.
Oh, sorry. Oh, jeez.
Frank.
Get in the car. Where have you been?
Oh no.
Boy, where have you been? Don't make me take my belt off.
I'm sorry, Pop. I'm sorry. I got lost on the way from the ravine.
David slowly gets inside the car, shuts the door, and Bob pulls out of the driveway and heads down the street. Suddenly, David leans forward and puts his hand on his mother's shoulder.
Mom, I love you.
Helen and Bob exchange quizzical but happy looks, and then she pats his head.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. What brought that on?
David looks at his little brother, who is leading away from him, ready for an attack.
Mad at me?
No, Jeff, you're a piece of shit, but I love you too.
Gives him a weird look. The station wagon pulls in and parks. The Freemans enter, and David suddenly stops in his tracks. A 12-year-old girl is sitting by herself at a table outside eating French fries. Something about her red hair or something, is very familiar. David leaves his family at their table and slowly moves towards the girl. David walks up to her, and she looks at him quizzically, revealing braces on her teeth.
Your name Carolyn? Carolyn? Is that you?
Hi, Carolyn.
Oh no.
Page 116.
That
Eva,
is Carolyn.
I was so into the story though. Okay, wait, hold on. Where is it? Oh, it's young Carolyn. Okay, ready.
Is your name Carolyn?
Well, how did you know that?
I want to tell you something. Everything is going to be okay when you grow up. And as a matter of fact, you're going to be a real knockout.
Oh.
And you'll have some purple in your hair, like over there.
Oh my god, you're weird.
Yeah, you always say that, which is probably weird to say too, right?
Oh my god, look. A falling star.
A shooting star crosses the sky, stops suddenly, then whoops at an incredible speed and disappears. She is still staring up at the shooting star, open mouth. David smiles, happy to see his friend a final time. Then out of her pocket crawls the little puck Marin. David quickly pushes it back down inside his pocket before Carolyn can notice it. Fireworks burst up into the night, filling the screen with an explosion of color. We leave David and Carolyn grazing up at the fireworks, but then somewhere at Dr. Faraday's home, he says...
And so, good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
Thank you, Sir Robin Puck. Thank you.
And that is the end of Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that one was a drinker.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude.
I can report I am at 5 1/3 White Claw.
My
I'm at
God.
5 as well. And I took a shot in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm definitely hitting the 4 range, and I think I probably was taking small sips of those.
So I have to ask, Joey, so you're weighing it, making the movie and participating in this read. It's kind of even, right?
Wait, what was that?
Actually making the movie and then doing this read of it, it's kind of even, right?
Oh, I would say just about as much fun. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Was there as much drinking on the set?
Well, yeah, I didn't
explain
really
the
drink
myth on
that
that,
much.
Joey.
I mean, I was, you know, it was California or Florida, and I was underage, so no drinking for me. But,
It's all the fun.
Hey, Joey,
and it was a completely different movie too. We shot the whole back end. That was right.
Yeah,
And
Joey, what was
I kept wanting
why
to
did they
say
change
lines
that?
that weren't there that were there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is totally the last 20 minutes are totally different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you know why they might have changed it or changed this entire thing with the masters and all this stuff?
I'm not sure why they changed it, but I know they did. I think we're live though, so I'm like, don't quote me on this. I'm not really sure. But I think it was originally owned by someone else. That's why there's a lot of swearing and stuff in it.
Gotcha.
And I think then Disney bought it, and so then they might have switched up the end. Maybe that was the reason.
Yeah.
But again, don't quote me on that. I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't know. But
we go through this a lot when we get a hold
Yeah,
of a script
yeah.
that we're going to do, and it's an earlier version of the script.
Right.
And things are very different. My God, when we did Gremlins, we did this like second draft of Gremlins, and it was so fucking dark and weird. There
I would have loved to have read that.
There was no kids mop-wise in it. They were all just monsters.
They go to a diner and where there's this whole family of like parents and like these 3 kids dead.
No, it's McDonald's, Billy Ray.
Oh, McDonald's, yes.
Just like this movie, it's at McDonald's.
That's right. It is at McDonald's. Well, that was a delight. You know, I think we should just. We're not going to sing "Happy Birthday" again, but Happy Birthday, Joey!
Happy remote birthday, Joe.
That was a little odd because the birthday was so rough, but that Beach Boys was so good. So I don't know where.
Yeah. That's right.
And Joey, really thank you for being available to do this. You know, we do it all the time, but when we get somebody like you that was actually a part of, like we did with Monster Squad, we have people that were actually involved in the original movie. It just elevates it, and I think that it makes it really a lot more fun for the people that watch and hopefully donate.
Yes.
To our charities.
Yes. Please donate. That's a great charity for sure. I was looking it up. That's totally amazing. So I love it.
They do some incredible stuff. And you can donate by going to our website, scriptsgonewild.com. There's a donate tab that'll take you directly to their donation page, and you can donate as much as you possibly can. And we hope that's a lot. A couple of quick plugs. We did some plugs earlier, just a couple of very quick plugs. Please join us Wednesday night, our normal time, 7:30. We are doing Fright Night that Frank is hosting, and that's going to be a blast. It's one of my favorite horror films from the 80s, and that's going to be an amazing time. Then we're going to take a week off, and then because we haven't taken a week off since quarantine, I don't think.
I know liver needs time to recover.
And then we're going to come back for The Burbs on the 9th and Princess Bride on the 10th with Skyline Indie Film Festival. So you can check us out. Yeah, inconceivable. You can check us out at scriptsgonewild.com.
And coming up later in September, we have Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
1968 movie, which Dana Gould and I are working on to elevate the script a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. That's going to be a blast. That's on the 23rd again. And our co-host Clay Keller runs an amazing podcast called Screen Drafts. What you got coming up, Clay?
Well, we've got some great stuff coming up in the feed right now. There is an incredibly dramatic draft of the best westerns from 1964 to 1992. Billy Ray, you were part of that, as people who listened are terribly aware of. You came into that with the black hat and really had your way. We've got fun stuff coming up, but I want to say to Joey. There's a special honor for you on the second episode of Screen Drafts years ago. The topic was visitors from another planet, and Flight of the Navigator was picked as one of the top 7 best visitors from another planet movies of all time.
Wow.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Pretty amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so
Well,
cool.
You know, also we should pimp this out too because they've been really supportive to us. Joey is involved with a cool documentary. Is Life After Navigator?
Life After the Navigator, yeah. And it's kind of like why I didn't keep doing movies as a kid, and then what happened after I got in some trouble and
That's amazing.
ended up in jail and all the like child star stuff. So
That's
I don't
dope.
know, maybe some of you don't know that, but anyway, but it's going to be a really great documentary actually, because it's really fan based. It's going to be a lot of love of the movie and why people love it even 34 years later. I've connected with so many fans from all over the world who just like say it changed their life. It made them want to make movies. It was like, helped them through childhood issues and family stuff. So like, I mean, it's such a gift to be a part of this. And then the other part is kind of what happened to me, because I've definitely been through some dark times and then fortunately come out the end. And now life is really good. I've done a lot of amazing things over the past few years, and actually getting back into acting and been studying that and looking for an agent and all that stuff. So
Hell yeah.
some short films.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm just like, I'm super stoked. So yeah.
We'll see you on the virtual audition circuit, pal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you guys ever need someone or you're short someone for a read, I'd love to do another read sometime too.
Hell yeah, we'll have you back.
This was so much fun. Yeah.
You are now on the A list.
Where can we watch the documentary?
Natisha's striking now.
Now we all got a drink.
Drink, everybody. One last drink. Come on, sit down.
Documentary.
Well, it hasn't been released yet. We're looking for early November possibly. So if you follow, like, there's a Life After the Navigator Facebook page, and that's generally with all of the updates and things like that. I also have a little Facebook page, Joey Cramer, aka David Scott Freeman, and so any fans can connect or whatever, or just like little info. I put stuff that I'm doing up there as well. But Life After the Navigator Facebook page, and then there's a little teaser trailer. You can check that out and stuff, and some pretty neat things, and that should connect you too. There's some cool interviews because we did that 4K release of Navigator through Second Sight Films. They did a full-on new release of the movie, and there's interviews with people, Jeff Kleiser and Randall and myself, and people from the movie in the special features of the Flight of the Navigator. So,
Joey, do you have a distributor for the film yet?
For Life After the Navigator?
Yeah.
Not as far as I know. You'd have to talk to Lisa about that. Lisa Downs, and she's she did Life After Flash, which was with Flash Gordon, right? The story of that, which was amazing, and they did really well. And she's got a whole series of Life After movies, so pretty cool.
So she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we actually did.
But I'm sure that any and all support is greatly appreciated, and even they've got a cool YouTube channel, like a Life After YouTube channel. So if you want to like that and follow that, it's all sorts of really cool interviews with people from Life After Flash, from Life After Navigator. Even her next one is Life After Atreyu, from Neverending Story. He's got a really cool guy, Bob's Props, talks about all these cool props that he has and really neat interviews. There's one with cartoonists, like I think Marvel, one of the Marvel cartoonists and stuff. So check out the YouTube channel, Life After YouTube channel. It's awesome. And I'm stoked.
That's fantastic. Yeah, they're pretty cool people. We did a reading of Flash Gordon. That was our second read we ever did, and we had Sam J. Jones reprise his role. But if you know, he didn't actually get to do his vocals in the film; they were dubbed. So this was his first time actually reading his own lines from the movie out loud.
Oh shit!
Sam Jones did his own vocal. That's awesome. That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that was a fun.
That's why Scripts Gone Wild is so special.
That's right. But on that note, I want to introduce you guys one last time and thank you so much to Joey Cramer,
Hey.
Kenzo Lee, Natisha Anderson, Ava Ceja, Leilani Barrett.
I just realized I could have been doing the whole time his name is Robert Freeman, and I could have been right there the whole time. So I'm sorry I messed up. I rest in peace, John Witherspoon.
Yeah. Anthony Perez.
Yay.
Aaron LaPlante.
Yeah.
Kylie Sparks. AKA Gina. Sasha Kerbel.
Gina.
Yeah, Gina. Yeah, Sasha.
DeVaughn Taylor.
Woo.
Frank Dietz.
And his alligator. Yay.
And Mr. Clay Keller.
Yes, sir. Thanks,
Thank
Clay.
you all so much. And wave goodbye to the audience at home.